Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schulz.
Welcome to another week of the Brilliant Idiots podcast, the fastest growing podcast in entertainment today.
Yes, sir.
I don't even know if that's true or not. I just think it sounds good. And remember back in the day when all the announcers used to say, the fastest growing, less than such an entertainment today.
That was before they had numbers.
Before they had numbers.
That was before they could say shit
felt.
about great. Exactly. Shit feels like it's popping.
It feels like it's popping. Strictly gut feeling. Okay? That's how we feel about this goddamn podcast.
Yo,
now.
we might be the fastest growing. What's faster than us?
I don't know, because I only listen to about 4. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's about 3 more than me, man.
Exactly. I love The Champs. I love The Read. I love Combat Jack. That's about it for me, buddy. I don't listen to Fan Bros, Chris. Chris is
trying to throw Fan Bros in there, trying to get a nice Fan Bros cosign.
I understand Fan Bros is on the Loudspeaker Network. I don't listen to Fan Bros. I actually listen to His and Hers. I prefer them over Fan Bros. Would Fan Bros be upset about that? Probably. Fan Bros, step your game up.
I gotta listen to Champs. I gotta listen to Bill Burr's podcast. Everybody
I have
keeps
Bill
saying
Burr's
that.
downloaded, but
Yeah.
it's the Monday morning podcast.
Yeah.
But I've only listened to a couple.
The only podcast I listen to is Serial. Did you get into Serial?
No, I cannot get into Serial.
Have you heard about it?
Yes, I have. Of course. Who hasn't heard of Serial?
Serial is the shit, dude.
You know why I don't like Serial? Because it's fictional.
It's not fictional. This dude is in jail.
Oh, it's real?
Motherfucker, what the hell did you
I thought
think?
it was a fictional
Oh,
story.
my
Hold
God.
on. Now explain. I'm all ears now. I'm intrigued.
Like 15 or 17 years
Hold
ago.
on, first of all, let's do this. This
Oh, yeah, my bad.
This
Yeah.
episode is brought to you by Tristan Walker. Salute to Tristan Walker and our friends at Bevel.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, Tristan. It's a lot of people that didn't want to rock with you, you know what I'm saying? But now that they hear us using your product, they want to rock with you. You remember
that,
who hit it
Tristan.
first, Tristan.
Right.
Okay? Don't you be like Kim Kardashian and deny Ray J's penis. All right? All right? Bevel is the first and only shaving system designed specifically for coarse, curly hair and sensitive skin. Step your shave game up and say goodbye to razor bumps, okay?
So check out getbevel.com. Use the code IDIOTS to get 20% off your first month at getbevel.com. That's GETBEVEL.com.
And if Tristan hits you up on Twitter like he likes to do when
He will hit you up if you tweet it out.
Yeah, if you tweet about Bevel when you heard it on Brilliant Idiots, he'll tweet you. You make sure to tell Tristan the Brilliant Idiots hit it first.
Remind him who got that cherry.
Okay? Who made it possible for other guys to want to fuck you, Tristan.
Exactly.
Fuck with you.
Everybody wants some butt now.
All right.
Everyone wants something like that nice, smoothly shaven butt.
Now, this episode is also brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace recently launched the latest version of their platform, Squarespace 7, which has a completely redesigned interface, integrations with Getty Images and Google Apps, 15 new templates, and an incredible feature called Cover Pages. Try the new Squarespace with a free trial at squarespace.com and enter offer code IDIOTS at checkout to get 10%
now,
off.
if you want to know what a Squarespace website looks like, you could go to www.brilliantidiots.com.
Yes.
And you could check out our T-shirts, which are selling out like crazy.
Where is the check for the T-shirts?
Chris got it.
Chris got the check
Chris
for the
got
T-shirt?
it. I think he's funneling all this money into Fan Bros.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Shout out Fan Bros. Shout out Fan Bros.
We're sustaining the Fan Bros website.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, man, we need to get some more double XLs. People keep hitting me up saying there's no more double XLs left. We sold out.
Well, lose some fucking weight, fat
That's
people.
what I keep telling them. Nature Box it, yo. We promote the Nature Box. Healthy snacks. Get into that XL.
And the world is not built for fat people. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm going to tell you something about life that you fat people may not understand. And I love fat people. I love everybody. But all I'm saying is
it, though?
The world is not going to adjust for fat people.
Okay, explain why it isn't.
Because they're not making airplane seats any bigger. Okay?
Okay.
There's no such thing as an extendo seat belt. All right?
Okay.
And motherfucking, what was we just talking about?
I don't know. Nature Box?
No, not Nature Box. Before that.
Websites.
It was something to do with websites. I don't remember. All I know is the world's not adjusting for you fat fucks.
Listen.
Oh, double XL T-shirts on Brilliant Idiots website, Squarespace.
That's it. Okay, the double XLs are gone.
They're not.
But you could argue that the world is made perfectly for fat people now.
How? Talk to me.
Because every app is about convenience.
Okay.
I don't got to leave my house to get food.
Okay.
I don't have to leave my house to do laundry.
Okay.
I don't have to leave my house at all.
Okay.
What do fat people hate doing?
Anything.
Leaving their house.
And you know what? They got to sit at home, turn on the TV, and watch every television show and every commercial tell you how being fat sucks and you need to lose weight.
And it don't work.
And there's everything in your house that you're eating is killing you.
I got an idea for
gluten-free, 0 calories, no trans fat. You fat motherfuckers need to just lose weight. Stop it.
I think you should be a certain weight to have apps on your phone. You know what I mean? Like, your phone should be able to tell based on the size of your finger if you should have apps. right? Because we're enabling these motherfuckers. Like, have you seen this is real shit. Have you seen, like, you don't get seamless, you don't get delivery if you're fat.
Oh, yes, no.
Like,
no,
you gotta have a certain amount of body fat to get delivery.
And Siri or whatever's on your phone, whatever's on your smartphone need to talk to you and say, you should walk today. You should go do some running.
Well, like, you gotta meet them halfway. Like, there's a certain amount that they'll go based on your weight.
Listen, before we talk about cereal.
Yeah.
And,
Cereal, the podcast.
Yes, before
amazing
we talk about that,
podcast.
Yes, not Fruit Loops, you fat fucks. I just want to say,
it's just dudes licking their lips.
That people,
finally something I could relate to.
Exactly. They ain't got no more double X t-shirts on the website, but they about to talk about Fruit Loops, so I'm gonna stick around.
Okay.
Listen, you have to understand that when we come at fat people, especially me, I'm doing it from a place of love because being fat is not healthy.
No, it's not.
It's not even about cosmetics and, fat people are terrible looking. It's just about lose weight because you're putting yourself at risk for diabetes, high cholesterol, heart attacks, clogged arteries. Do you want to die?
It's unhealthy.
That's it.
That's all you need to say.
Do you want to die?
Because you're going to die. This is what's going to happen.
If you look down and
your confidence is going to kill you. This
Absolutely.
love in your body
there
shit,
you
your
go.
confidence is going to kill you.
Let me tell you something else about that. Every fat motherfucker who claims to love being fat always ends up getting on a goddamn diet because eventually their doctor says, cut the malarkey. Cut the bullshit, Monique. Cut the bullshit, Gabrielle Sidibe. Cut the bullshit, Rick Ross. Lose some goddamn weight. Okay?
It's true.
All right? God bless Big Pun. One of Big Pun's last records that he recorded, he said, I just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live. I'm trying to live. It was too little too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cut the malarkey, chunky people. Lose some goddamn weight.
Now, cereal.
Right? And get the fuck out the gym until fucking February. All the New Year's resolution fat motherfuckers are in the gym now.
I feel like they're out already.
Taking all the good treadmills. It's the 20... Oh, yeah, they'll be done by next week.
And you know that they're in the gym because the treadmills have tons of sweat on them.
Yes, and all the good parking spaces are taken.
I don't drive to the gym.
By these new fat motherfuckers. The gym around this time of year is like motherfucking church on New Year's Eve. It's packed, but ain't none of them motherfuckers members. That's all it boils down to.
Yo, this weekend, Thursday through Saturday, I'm going to be at the Funny Bone in Valley Park, Missouri. That's in St. Louis, I think. If it's not, come there anyway. February 12th through 15th, I'll be at West Nyack at Levity Live, okay? And let's see, the 19th through the 22nd of February, I'll be in Sunnyvale, California at Rooster Tea Feathers. March 12th through 14th, I'll be in Buffalo at the Helium Comedy Club. The 19th through the 21st of March, I'll be in Dallas at Hyenas Comedy Club. And March 27th through 28th, I'll be in Long Island at McGuire's. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you.
Now, goddamn cereal. Tell me about this shit. I thought this shit was fake the whole time.
Real, 15 to 17, I don't know how many years ago, this kid, I think his family's Pakistani, ends up killing, he's put in jail for killing this girl.
Okay.
His ex-girlfriend. He says, and he has said for the last 17 years that he didn't do it. There's a lot of fishy shit with the trial. So this chick from NPR goes to investigate it. Right, and she basically finds out there are a bunch of people are lying on all sides, that they didn't really look for evidence and this kind of stuff. Personally, I think he did it. I think he's a fucking, social, what they call sociopath. Yeah, absolute sociopath. But I was obsessed. Like, I literally had a whole wall set up like A Beautiful Mind. You know that movie? Yeah. With the strings connecting and everything like that? When I went away to Sarah's parents' house and shit for New Year's, I had a whole wall set up, and me and her brother, Jesse, literally just had notes on everybody. We're trying to solve the crime. I solved the whole shit.
He's in jail?
He's in jail still to this day.
How the fuck is he doing a podcast?
They call up, and literally on the podcast, you'll hear the jail phone go, your call has ended 30 minutes or whatever.
That's got to be the greatest podcast ever. Why nobody told me this shit?
It is the greatest podcast ever.
Nobody told me that it was a real story. I didn't know he was calling from jail.
Where are you getting your information?
I just hear people talking about it.
You're saying Black Twitter didn't tweet about the cereal podcast?
Fuck Black Twitter. I hear people talking about cereal and how good it is, but nobody ever went into detail. Bro, listen, when something is that good, when something is that good, people go into detail. Because I would have been all in to listening to that shit.
First of all, I didn't want to listen to it because I maybe heard similar things to you. The way someone pitched to me at first, it was like he was Pakistani from Pakistan. Yeah. And I was like, okay, a wrongful murder charge in a foreign fucking country. Like, yeah, that shit happens all the time. I don't really give a fuck. This is just how the law works. Then when I found out that shit was in Baltimore, I was like, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you hear the dude talk.
I had no idea.
And she's asking him the real questions. Like, how were you, he says shit like, it was, I was unable to get from this place to that place in 30 minutes. It's just impossible. And then she goes and does it and then calls him again and says, actually, we timed it and we could do it. and there's like this hesitation
Oh,
on the
nah,
phone.
that's bullshit. I got to look up his fucking name and see if he's really a fucking convict.
Adnan. Never, this Chris, by the way, Adnan he'd never been arrested before. He was like in the Muslim community, did charity work.
They were both students at basically a magnet school in Baltimore.
Oh, so he knows the girls that come to see him.
No. The girl that comes to see him is just a reporter. She's just a lady. She has no clue who he is. She wrote some shit on him, but
she was a reporter for the Baltimore
But they
Sun.
had never spoken before she started.
She had previously written an article about his attorney, who since died, which adds to the whole mystery.
Oh yeah, his attorney who might have botched some shit ended up
case,
dying,
right.
But she didn't really botch some shit. That's just how they sell it.
Got you.
Like in all reality, I mean, I think everybody should go listen. You'll listen, you'll knock it out so fast.
First of all, I know it's great because nobody has better jail stories than jail motherfuckers.
Yeah.
When you're sitting around in jail
but
with
his
nothing
jail
else
stories
to do,
are whack. His jail stories are like, well, we made some omelets today with the morning
No.
group.
But I'm saying you're sitting around in jail. All you have is time to think
about dope
in
shit.
detail.
Yeah, about how you're innocent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the point of the whole story is that, so he's had 17 years.
Yeah.
And the whole case basically hinges on him being able to provide an alibi for where he was at the time they determined the girl was killed. And he claims he can't remember what he was doing.
Oh, he killed her. Shut the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying. The whole day, everybody else can remember the day, and he goes, I don't know. I don't remember.
Shut the fuck up.
The police called him that day. I forgot the police called me.
Adnan, go talk to some brothers. Go talk to some niggas that's in the jail with you and get a proper alibi, Adnan. Okay?
Here's a question. Who else do we know that when you ask him if he did some fucked up shit goes, I don't know?
Wax.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If that is any indication that Adnan is guilty, is that you and Wax have the same alibi.
To some black guys in the gym and they will give you some good alibis other than I don't fucking know. Adnan. I don't remember. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Some shit.
Are you serious?
All right, what else is happening, man?
I went to the movies this weekend.
You saw?
It was Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. I went to go see Selma. I went to go see Selma on Martin Luther King Day.
Did you go see Selma because it was Martin Luther King Day, or did you go see Selma because of all the hype that the director was not nominated for Best Director?
I was gonna go see it regardless. Mm-hmm. I wanted my 6-year-old daughter to see it. I thought it would be good for her.
Why would you send your 6-year-old daughter to see it?
My daughter's advanced. Like, listen, I from day one when my daughter was in the womb, I would read to my daughter.
Why would you send?
Why not?
Why would you? No, she's not old enough to understand
this.
They teach
her about Martin Luther King Jr. in school, in first grade.
Yeah, but they don't show videos of dogs eating black people.
They show the protests and the marches. They don't show that in Selma.
Oh, they don't?
Nah.
Those dogs look fun.
Nah, I mean, they show the beatings and they show, like, you know, she fell asleep by then, though. And it was so crazy. I'm going to tell you what's so funny. This is how smart my daughter is.
I have a dream.
Listen,
me too.
No, this is how smart my daughter is. I told my daughter, I said, listen, we're gonna go to the movies today. We're gonna go see a serious film. She goes, I don't want to see Selma. Immediately. My daughter's 6 years old. I didn't say nothing about Selma. She didn't hear me talking about it. I said, we're going to go see a serious film today. She looked at me dead and I said, I don't want to go see Selma.
What she said she wanted to see?
Nothing. She just was like, I don't want to go see Selma. I just don't want to go see Selma.
And you forced her to go see it.
She had no choice. We had no babysitter. You're going to come in the movie theater and sit down with us. That's the second time I forced her to a movie. The first time I forced her to a movie, she was like 2 months old, and Notorious was in theaters, and I had to go see it. So it was me. Hold on. It was me.
You took your 2-month-old daughter
and
to
you know
see
what?
Notorious.
Yes, and you know what? This is why I love her to death, and she can have anything she wants from me because she's my daughter.
Yeah.
But she's so well behaved. She did not cry at all during Notorious. Not only did she not cry, her mother never had to take her out to change her or anything. She let us enjoy that movie in peace. And for that, she will get what she wants on Christmas every day for the rest of her life.
You know, I think it's actually not bad to take your child to go see a movie before they're 3, because apparently their memory doesn't kick in until they're 3.
Really?
Yeah, I think you can't remember anything as a kid until you're 3. Like, you understand shit, but you don't remember anything in the future. Like,
that may be true, because I don't remember shit. I remember first grade. That's
exactly. Like, well, first, even less. You probably even remember vague shit from before that. But you're not going to remember shit after. So you're good. You could take him to movies. After 3 is kind of fucked up. You don't want the image of Lil' Kim riding fat-ass Biggie. You know what I mean? Some Bed-Stuy apartment.
And Selma, it didn't even register with her at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
But Selma was a good movie. But
she thought she was watching a Cesar Millan episode.
Listen, Selma deserved the Oscar nomination for Best Picture. But pipe down on all that other shit about Best Actor and Actress and Director and all that shit. It wasn't that amazing. Good? Nah, it was good. It was really good. I even teared up a little bit at the end. In the beginning, when it showed the bombing of the school and the girls got bombed and killed, the little young girls, that teared up a little bit. But it wasn't like, there was nobody in that movie that stood out amazingly as an actor. Now, was it the best Martin Luther King movie I've ever seen? Absolutely. Because they fucked up Martin Luther King with the movies. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, why was it the best Martin Luther King?
Because there have been some terrible Martin Luther King movies. Like, they got a lot of made-for-TV shit that was just whack. But it did not, there's nobody that deserved, like, a best actor, best actress. Maybe the lady could have got a best director nod. I don't know. But it definitely deserved the best picture. That's it.
Okay. This is, first of all, I personally don't even think there should be a best picture nomination.
Tell me why.
Because all best picture is a hand job for producers.
Okay.
The director of a movie, and I asked my boy, who is a producer? The director of a movie chooses the cast, edits the fucking script. There is a screenplay thing, but like edits the script, chooses the shots, hires the DP, hires the sound guy, chooses the music that's going to go into the movie, has the actors, evokes all the motion from the actors. Like, if you direct a film, you're in control of everything. All the producer does is hire that director and get the story made. But that whole idea of best picture, 4 producers get that award. Okay. No director, nobody else. So all that is the rich guys who have the money can get a fucking nice trophy.
But I always thought that best picture was a collaborative thing, because when people win best picture, everybody comes on stage. The director, the talent, the producers.
Only 4 get the trophy. My boy told me.
I think it should be a best picture.
I think
it should be a best picture because that's an easy argument. Like, we will sit around and argue about what the best movie of the year was.
And you give that to the director because he made it the best movie. That's my point.
Yeah.
Dude, because
I mean, I don't think that you can win best picture and whatever wins best picture, the best director has to be the same person. Like, the director of the best picture has to win best director.
But it doesn't happen like that all the time. And I don't think it should happen like that all the time. For example, this is the reason why, well, a couple of reasons why I'm not upset. I haven't seen Selma, but I'm not upset that she wasn't nominated for best director. And I don't think it has anything to do with race or the fact that she's a woman.
It definitely has nothing to do with race, because they shoved all that 12 years of slave bullshit down our throat last year, which I thought was whack as fuck, by the way.
The argument that they're making is, so we could win an Oscar when we're slaves, but we can't win one when we're organized and we're winning.
That's a fact. And I've told y'all that's why I hate slave movies.
No, it's not a fact. Because Django was organized and winning, and you won the fucking Oscar.
With Django.
That's my point. So it's a bullshit-ass thing.
Listen, when Chris Rock was on the show, I told him Django was my favorite slave movie. No, it's not. Django, 12 Years a Slave. Django was not a victim. Django burnt down the plantation, killed his oppressor.
It's bullshit.
What do we want?
Exactly. It's bullshit.
What do we want?
Here's the thing. The issue is this. Everybody's going, how is it nominated for Best Picture, not Best Director? First of all, Best Picture has more movies. I don't know exactly the amount. Can you see how many more? But there's way more movies. Not way more, but there's more movies. So there's just more out there.
What a brilliant idea. We don't have to fact check.
We don't know about this shit. Second of all, Best Director, right? I think a lot has to do with what they're getting out of the story. Like that movie Foxcatcher is some movie where the story is boring as fuck. Some billionaire dad wants his son to be a wrestler and he's really hard on him. That's a boring fucking story. I don't give a fuck about that. But this director made it interesting. Okay? He took tofu and made it taste really good. Martin Luther King is fucking steak. If you make steak, I can make steak taste good. It's fucking steak.
Not true.
I think so.
It's some terrible King movies. And Foxcatcher sounds bad. You know what can win a fucking Oscar? Cockcatcher. The story of a gay father who adopts a straight son and wants his son to be gay. That could be hot. Forget the wrestler. Cockcatcher, dog. That could be hot. Okay? That's Oscar worthy.
I'm just gonna let you sit in this. I'm just gonna let you sit in this.
That's Oscar worthy.
Why is that Oscar worthy? The movie got to be made.
Okay, they'll make it one day.
And then the director's got to do all this work and make sure it's good. I just don't think there should be a best picture. I think it's stupid. I think it's just for producers. I think it's dumb.
Best picture is cool. I mean, hey, listen, man, it's simple. Give
best picture to the best director. Whoever made the best film and who's responsible for that, give that shit to them.
But you gotta have best picture. Give best picture its acknowledgement. Why not?
Because it's all the director who made it the best picture.
Because I've never in my life sat around with somebody and goes, man, such and such can direct their motherfucking ass off. Yo, did you see how he directed that movie?
Because we're ignorant.
I don't.
Have you realized this?
I do sit in the barbershop and say, yo, Selma was dope as fuck.
But
yo, Birdman was dope as fuck.
But who made it dope?
The actors.
No.
And the actors, the movie, whoever put it together.
Here's a perfect example. This is why if you like an actor, you go see one movie, you're like, this movie's great. Then you go see another movie and you're like, this shit was whack. The reason is because you don't really like the actor. You like the director.
Listen, don't get me wrong.
Chris Nolan
made
Inception, all 3 Batman movies, Dark Knight, all 3 Dark Knight movies. Just made Interstellar. He made The Prestige. This dude is a beast. Any movie he makes, I'm going to go see. Martin Scorsese, pretty much any movie he makes, I'm going to go see.
I fuck him on Scorsese, but I think it's
the writers and directors are the ones who literally are everything.
I agree, but I think it's very rare that you have the occasion where you have a great director, great writers, and terrible acting, and you can look and say, okay, that's a good movie. Now, it's this shit on YouTube right now called Money and Violence, where the acting is terrible, but whoever was writing that shit,
dope.
It's dope as a motherfucker.
What is it? What is it?
It's just little lines. Like, it's a dude be like, respect your motherfucking jaw. So if, like, you talking to me in a disrespectful manner, I'm telling you, you need to respect your jaw right now.
Wait, it's a show on YouTube?
It's a fucking show. 30-minute, yes.
This is my idea. This
one
is what
camera,
I want to do.
One fucking camera and a boom mic.
You can see the boom in the background and shit sometimes?
I've never seen the boom, but it's called Money and Violence. And it's written so well. They're going to be on TV anytime. I guarantee you. Some network's going to pick them the fuck up. And I heard this one writer, salute to my dude, Dangerous LLC, he said there's one guy writing all of this shit. But the acting is terrible. But the writing, phenomenal. Storyline, phenomenal. That's the rare occasion.
What is it about? What's the premise?
Did I just tell you what the fucking show is called?
Money and Violence. It could be about a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of shit. It could be the Bill Cosby story. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's money and violence.
It's about money and violence. Drug dealing, murders.
It could be about Saudi Arabia. It could be about Iran.
It's about everything Tax Tone. It's Tax Tone and Wax's
ISIS story.
No, it's Tax Tone and Wax's biopic. That's what
Money
it
and
is.
Violence.
Okay, that's what it is. It's Tax Tone and Wax's biopic. That's what the fuck it is.
All right. So what's the premise? What happens? Is a bunch of drug dealers?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm only on like the first 5 or 6 episodes. It's like 22 episodes. They actually got their season finale this week and next week.
They didn't put the whole thing out. They put one out a week.
One out a week, baby.
I would have put the whole thing out.
One a week for every 5 months. It's on YouTube though. They're going to get picked up. I guarantee they're going to get picked up.
1 a week every 5 months?
For the past 5 months, they put out one a week.
I would have put them all out at once.
I think it was one a week. I don't quote me on that because I just caught up on it, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with having Best Picture, man. And Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. was the greatest Martin Luther King movie there was. But long story short, everybody complaining that they didn't get Best Actor and Actress and Best Director. It wasn't that great for it to be a clean sweep like that.
Don't you think it's arrogant? It's the same shit as the Azalea Banks shit. It's like, how can you not accept it? Maybe you're just not that great. You know who votes on Best Director?
Who?
A bunch of directors.
Hey man, listen, I thought it was good.
A bunch of directors.
Listen,
thought that your shit wasn't that good, dog.
I thought Selma was good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a strong 8.
That don't win Best Director.
And it was good though. It was good because of everybody applauded at the end of it.
Right.
And I was sitting next to this old guy, man, and the older guy looks at me and he goes, "That was a good movie." I said, "Yeah, that was a really good movie, man." I said, "I got little tears in my eye." And I said to the guy, I said, "You know what I get from that movie? I get that at the end of the day, what I've been saying, we all gonna have to do this together. Mm-hmm. We're all Americans at the end of the day. We need togetherness to make things move forward." And the old guy goes, he said, remember I was talking about this shit last week? He goes, "That's why you need tragedy." He goes, "You need tragedy in America so all of us realize that we're Americans." And he told me this story about how he used to work down at the World Trade Center during 9/11. And he said one of the wings of the plane almost hit a building he was in. And he said everybody down there was in such a traumatized state that they didn't give a fuck. We said white women was hugging up on him saying, "Oh my God, are we going to die?" You feel your mortality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel death. You realize that it's something out here bigger than you. And we're all just spiritual beings living a human existence, dog. God is looking down at us right now saying, "Look at these stupid motherfuckers fighting over skin color."
Yeah.
I
think there's a lot of us that aren't fighting over skin color.
That's why I want either a zombie apocalypse, or I want a motherfucking alien invasion, or I want North Korea to point a goddamn nuke this way.
This is what ISIS is. This is what Boko Haram is.
Word up.
Like, real talk, I'm thinking about this today. They are the bad guy now. They're the world's bad guy. You heard that they did that shit to France. They got these 2 Japanese hostages. I don't even know what these Japanese people were doing in the middle of fucking
Why the fuck is ISIS
Iraq.
asking for $200 million?
For 2 Japanese.
But listen.
Did they invent the wheat? No, that's fine.
What the fuck are they spending money on?
Who, ISIS?
First of all, where do you give ISIS $200 million? Do they have a Chase account, Wells Fargo?
PayPal.
Can I put it on their rush card?
PayPal. Yeah, you got to
What the fuck are they going to buy? More knives? More black sheets to put on?
Sandals.
Sandals?
They are very particular about their sandals.
Oh, no, you know what it is? They need new high-definition cameras to film these goddamn videos.
Those things are not HD.
The sound is
That
pretty
shit is
fucked
cassette.
up. And the subtitles do be blurry.
Yeah, I heard the guy who produced Money and Violence is making those videos.
Exactly. Listen, I don't believe that shit either. I don't believe ISIS asked for $200 million.
I think, I don't know if they did, I don't know if they didn't, but I think it's clear that I don't know if it's the media. I don't know what it is, but I think it's clear that the world has a bad guy now, has an enemy. And I think this is going to be our generation, our kids' generation's bad guy. You know how the Russians were that for our parents and shit? These are the new Russians. This is what we're going to have to deal with. They're attacking the world,
Before ISIS, we had Al-Qaeda, dog. Before that, it was fucking Osama bin Laden.
All them is, that's all
Hussein.
ISIS, is what I'm trying to say.
That's all ISIS?
They're not really ISIS, but it's ISIS.
Who's the Wu-Tang Clan of this shit, man?
Fundamentalists.
That's what it is?
Who's the RZA of ISIS?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what
who's
you
the Wu-Tang that's creating all these offshoot, these subsidiary groups? Okay? Was it Al-Qaeda that started this shit?
I think it might have been Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram.
What's the Taliban?
Is the one in Nigeria.
Who's the Taliban?
It's another Al-Qaeda.
Who was Saddam's squad?
Saddam was, I don't know. I think Saddam was just a dictator. I think Saddam was fighting against them. Look, I don't know all this shit. All I know is Islamic fundamentalists. That's what it's all about.
Hey, man, I don't know.
You need law first.
This is the Brilliant Idiots podcast. All I know is, like Schulz said, America does have a common enemy right now. And guess what?
The world does.
The world.
And it's taking the pressure off America. Because I think if we went around the rest of the world, we were the bad guy. Whenever I would travel, people are like, oh, America sucks. America's just bombing people. America, all this.
Yeah, but Americans ain't never fucking did a fucking World Star video where they was beheading somebody, okay?
I'm trying to think if they did. Well, we did drop a nuclear weapon on somebody. I think that's a little bit worse.
That was Hiroshima, right?
That was Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, all I'm saying is this. ISIS is the world's enemy, and ISIS don't give a fuck if you're black. They don't give a fuck if you're white. They don't care if you're gay. They don't care if you're straight.
They do care if you're gay.
They do?
They're going to kill you if you're gay. They don't believe in that shit.
Oh, okay. Well, listen,
You know what I mean?
all I'm saying is when they come over here dropping bombs or whatever the fuck they do, they're not, saying, oh, that's a white area, don't bomb that area. Oh, that area right there is full of black people, leave them alone. They dropping bombs to kill Americans.
So then what's the solution?
The solution to what?
To ISIS, to Al-Qaeda.
I mean, I don't give a shit about ISIS. I'm using that as an example to push my agenda, which is togetherness of all people.
So we'll use them to push together.
That's right.
Hey, we
baby.
need to come together because they're trying to kill all of us.
I'm telling you. The only motherfucker right now that ISIS could come over here and fuck with is Bill Cosby. And nobody would care. If they took Bill Cosby somewhere and beheaded him, people, especially women, would be like, see that karma?
Yo, did you watch the nightly show last night when they were, what's his face went at him?
I did. It was, listen, I saw it. Okay. He said, he compared what happened to Bill. He said, what if Bill Cosby had fucked the first 35 presidents of the United States of America? Or something to that effect was the joke.
All right. I don't get it.
If I found out that Bill Cosby fucked 35, this is what he was saying. He was saying that 35 women have come forth.
Yeah.
So he was putting it in context and saying, what if it was the first 35 presidents of the United States of America? Larry Wilmore from the Nightly Show. I don't totally understand the joke because once he said that, my mind went somewhere else, and I was like, yo, if Bill Cosby had fucked 35 presidents, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, not only that, let's be honest. What do they say about politicians? What do they all do?
What?
Lie.
What does that mean?
That means these motherfuckers, presidents, could have been lying about Bill Cosby raping them.
Bill Cosby didn't really rape any presidents.
He could have raped them. That's what I'm saying.
Hypothetically, we're talking.
In this hypothetical world.
Listen, this is the Brilliant Idiots podcast. Sometimes I get caught up in our own idiocracy or whatever the word is. But all I'm saying is, if Bill Cosby had fucked 35 presidents.
If you're a president and you get raped, you got to take that. You can't come out. Like, think about this. Yo, if Barack got raped, right?
Yeah.
He can't come out and be like, yo, Vladimir Putin raped me. Because now we look like some bitches. Someone got to sit Barack down and be like, yo, Barack, you're going to have to take that dick and you're going to have to accept it.
Yes. Okay, relax. Don't you make us Americans look like punks, okay?
Yeah, you got. If that video comes out, you got to be like, I made him fuck me.
Listen, all I'm saying
I forced his dick inside of me.
All I'm saying is, if Bill Cosby had fucked 35 American presidents, you got to give his dick a medal. That's different, dog. Your penis is on a different level.
Do you know how many years of dick activity that is?
Come on, listen.
We have a new president every 4 to 8 years.
What?
You'd have to live for, 150 years?
What?
Even if he raped them, we'd have to be like, hey, man,
listen,
fucking well done.
Larry Wilmore, listen, man, I need you to think these jokes through a little bit more because I'm too technical and too literal.
I do give him credit, though, because he went at Al Sharpton first and then Bill Cosby second. And it's hard in this world.
No, it's not.
It is because, listen, this is something you do all the time.
Those are safe guys to go at right now. First of all,
you're the first black nightly news show, and you go at two famous black people.
You're
2
not
days in a row.
going to offend anyone. You're not
ballsy.
going to offend white people, and you're not going to offend black people by doing that.
By going at Sharpton? You don't think there's some black people who defend Sharpton?
Older ones who probably down with his team. The younger generation.
And they're not watching Comedy
I'm
Central.
34 years old, and my respect for Sharpton wanes. I've been thinking Sharpton has been an ambulance chaser for the past 10, 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's what I heard prior to knowing what Al Sharpton was about.
Just want to let you know, white people have been saying this for years.
All right, well,
and
whatever.
Called racist for it. I just want to put that out there. Just want to put that out there. White people have been saying this about Sharpton for years.
And listen,
we're ahead of our time.
And guess what? If you really want to be technical and get the hood on your side, all you got to do is say, hey, Al Sharpton wore a motherfucking wire and tried to buy some goddamn kilos of cocaine.
Snitch.
Snitch it.
Snitch.
Al Sharpton snitch it.
Snitch it.
All right?
Fucking Money and Violence your ass, Al. We gonna get you on Money and Violence season 2.
Now, if Larry Wilmore
coming to Vimeo.
If Larry Wilmore said some disrespectful shit about Barack Obama,
woo!
Now we on your ass, dog. Because that's my motherfucking president.
You'll listen. Do you watch the State of the Union?
Goddamn right, I watched the State of the Union.
People love that little quip that he had.
It was amazing.
That
you know why
dope.
it was amazing? Because he goes, "I'm not running for president anymore." And them sneaky ass Republicans who never stand up and applaud.
They didn't applaud for shit the whole time. They clapped.
And then Barack goes, "Oh yeah, because I won the last 2 elections." Just let me remind y'all, motherfuckers.
Boom!
Okay?
Yo, how petty is that not clapping shit? You're a grown-ass fucking man who's 60 years old. Somebody goes, you know what? I think men and women should make the same amount. And then all these Democrats are clapping, Republicans I'm not okay with that.
I respect it, though.
Fuck, why do you respect it?
I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
I am the guy who says live your truth. When you live your truth, nobody can use your truth against you.
Is it your truth, or is it the people who vote for you's truth?
It's their truth.
It's not their truth, Charlamagne. Stop bullshitting, Charlamagne.
When you don't agree with something, do you act like you agree with it?
It depends.
Nah, shut the fuck up. No, it don't depend. When you don't like something, Schulz, remind you, we got 10 months of podcasts to go back and use as reference.
Okay.
When you don't like something, do you agree with it just to agree with it?
It depends.
On what? What?
Depends on the situation.
Listen, I like seeing people be upfront. I like when those I tweeted this last night. Watching those Republicans in that audience not stand and clap for Barack on certain shit. It's like, yo, man, Barack is really all about this togetherness shit. But them motherfucking people that ain't standing for him, they ain't trying to hear that shit at all.
Look,
like when Barack says things like, "As America, Americans can all be together as one." Them guys ain't standing up clapping. They're like, no.
I think anybody who's clapping the whole time is stupid. The whole thing is goofy as fuck.
Not if you agree.
It's like we're 8 years old at a One Direction concert,
but if
somebody's like, I don't like One Direction, and then all the fans just go, bah humbug, you can't do it. Even the clapping, just say the speech, let's take it in. I don't need to go, yeah, that was a great point you made. That was a great point you made.
I think that the clapping helps move the speech along. You know what I used to hate?
I think the speech helps move the speech along. If the speech is good, we're going to listen to it.
No, I grew up with Jehovah's Witness, right?
Do they have clapping on the radio?
Yes, I give my own applause. I'll be like, give me some applause. Like it's a sound effect. Listen, you goddamn right. You goddamn right.
Sound effect.
I got a rim shot and everything. Fuck that.
Oh God.
I need the motivation.
No.
Let me tell you something.
You know where there's no clapping?
Where?
The Serial Podcast. Amazing podcast.
Listen,
amazing.
There's no clapping in any podcast. Listen, I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Mm-hmm. So you don't know anything about gifts and reaction and presence.
You know why there's no dynamic speakers in the Jehovah's Witness religion?
Why?
Because once you give your first talk. Yeah. So you go up there, you speak, whatever. You get your first one ever, they applaud. After that, they don't applaud anymore. For any more talks that you give, no matter what your rank is, whatever, blah, 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 how much of an elder you are, whatever. It's no dynamic speakers because it's nothing to motivate you. When you're giving a speech, it's like running a race. It's like as I'm talking, when I hit some good shit, like, whoa, imagine you're a stand-up.
Dude, I do it for a living.
Exactly.
I understand it.
Imagine going out there and doing your jokes and getting no reaction.
I understand it. But these aren't jokes.
Fuck that, man.
Now, 2 things. About the Jehovah's Witness, I think is very interesting. There is zero positive reinforcement in that religion. It's very difficult to get anybody on board with some shit with no positive reinforcement.
I agree.
I can't get presents. I can't get a birthday present. This poor little girl came to me at your wedding. She says, my birthday. I was like, what are you getting? She's like, oh, we don't get presents. And I was like, fuck, how poor is this girl? And then she's like, no, we're Jehovah's Witness. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Shit.
That's some fucked up shit. The fact that she's a good girl, is she a good girl?
Who?
I don't know. One of the girls. I think it was your cousin's kid or something like that.
I don't know who you was talking about. It might have been my niece. My niece. Oh, yeah, my niece is, my sister's Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
It's probably my niece, yeah.
Yeah. The fact that they're, like, do well in life. Like, I did well, so I would get
gifts.
shit.
We get gifts anytime we want. It's just on holidays.
I thought you're not allowed to get gifts.
No, you can get gifts anytime you want. You just don't celebrate holidays.
Oh, then I like that.
And your birthdays. Yeah, I can buy my niece anything I want, anytime I want to.
Oh.
I took my niece and my daughter to Universal Studios over the holidays.
Oh, well, actually, I'm okay with that because I think the gift thing kind of ruins the holiday in a way. If you actually really believe in the holiday in terms of, loving Jesus.
True.
Because Christmas is really just about gifts now. It's not about Jesus.
Listen, we've said
so
this
I like
before.
that idea.
We talked about this when Chris and Kid Fury was on the fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Jesus does not even headline his own goddamn birthday.
I know, the tree.
Santa Claus,
you got replaced
tree,
by wood.
Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed motherfucking reindeer. Wow. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Listen.
So I like the Jehovah's Witness. They got something there.
I like being a witness of Jehovah. All right, let's do this mid-roll, and then we're going to bring in our guests.
All right.
All right, yeah, we can get our guests. I want to tell y'all a secret. I have no idea of my guest's name.
Quinn, I think.
Quinn?
I think it's Quinn.
I met him because he has an art gallery in Brooklyn. And I've been wanting to talk to somebody who owns an art gallery, especially a brother, because there's so many guys in hip-hop acting like they're so into motherfucking art and shit now. And I'm like, I know y'all don't know shit about art. Y'all running down to Art Basel in Miami just because it's looking like the motherfucking Revolt Music Conference.
Yeah, it's the new Freaknik.
It's the new Freaknik. Y'all don't really know anything about art, so I wanted to talk
Uncle
to somebody.
Luke is at Art Basel. It's not Art Basel
I mean,
anymore.
he lives in Miami, but like, so long story short, Swiss, my guy Swiss, salute to Swiss Beats. He's a good, me and him are really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, my first real big check in this industry was because of Swiss Beats.
What was it?
It was I used to have an artist. His name was Little Rue from Columbia, South Carolina. He had a record called Nasty Song, and me and him had a partnership. He had his label, Presidential Entertainment. I had my label, Stupid Dope Moves Incorporated, and I bought him up here. And Swiss took him in the studio, did like 4 records with him, and Swiss was like, "Yo, I'll take him wherever you want to go." So at the time, long story short, I wanted to go to Asylum Records. Little Rue was all for it, but then him and this dumbass manager he had at the time named Jonathan Stevens decided to start having, because other people were sniffing around at the time too, so they decided to take some meetings with Def Jam and wanted to take him over to Def Jam. And I'm telling Little Rue, don't go to motherfucking Def Jam because you'll be a cog in small fish in a big ass pond when you can go over to Asylum and be a big fish in a smaller motherfucking pond. So long story short, he ended up going to Def Jam. And have you ever heard of Little Rue?
I've never heard of Little Rue.
Exactly. That's the long story short. But
I only know Rue from the Hunger Games.
But salute to Swiss though, because I made my first big check with him, and Swiss called me from this guy's studio and put the guy on the phone, and he told me he was a listener to the Brilliant Idiots podcast, and I wanted to bring him in because I wanted to know some more about art.
So what's up,
Hold
man?
on, we got to do the mid roll.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad.
Now,
folks,
we'll be back with our guests in a second.
We want to talk to you about Squarespace, all right? Chances are you've been over to the BrilliantIdiots.com website. Checking out T-shirts. XXL sold the fuck out. We still got some other stuff. Cute shit for the ladies. Tie it up. Show your abdomen. Some of our videos are up there, too. That's right. Squarespace is so easy. Even idiots like us managed to figure out how to build a website. We did not do it. Matt Raz did it. Shout out to Matt Raz, even though his taste in sketch comedy is pretty awful.
Matt Raz, his judgment is questionable. I don't even know if I want Matt on the team.
It's so weird that it was frightening, the conversation,
weird.
The confidence that he came at us with this statement that he made.
We're going to bring Matt in here and talk about that.
We are, and I want you guys to look through Matt Raz's Twitter. What's his Twitter?
I think it's Matt Raz.
Is it Matt Raz?
I think I unfollowed him too, by the way.
Listen, I muted it.
You muted it?
No. But I want you to go to his Twitter, look through his tweets over the last couple weeks. I'm sure it's not that many.
It's going to be one tweet that stands out as one of the dumbest shit
ever
I've ever heard in my life.
Ever in the history of television.
Dumb as fuck.
Commentary.
Dumb as fuck.
So, and then make sure you at Charlamagne and myself in that tweet if that's the one.
Yes.
Okay? Is it at Matt Raz?
Yes.
2 Z's?
1 Z.
Oh, 1 Z, 2 M, 2 T's. All right, MATTRAZ.
We are the Brilliant Idiots.
Yeah.
Not the dumb fucks, Matt Raz. Okay?
You got to have some brilliant in it. You know what I mean?
That was that tweet of what made you a dumb fuck, Matt Raz. Okay?
Jesus.
But we like you.
Anyway.
Used to love.
Yeah, it's still like.
It's like now.
And I love the attitude and I love the energy, but I just can't ask you your opinion on things anymore.
No, not at all.
I mean, go look for the tweet. You'll see what it is. Basically, if you get Squarespace, you're going to have the same experiences as us. If you get a Squarespace website, we will give you Matt Raz. We are looking to get rid of him. He's our Josh Smith, really, when you think about it. Anybody who's willing to take him off our hands so we can go fucking 12-2 over the next 14 games, bring him on.
Listen, if you've been hearing about Squarespace for a long time, there's Squarespace 7 now. That means redesigned user interface, integration with Google Apps and cover pages. This is good for portfolios and personal business websites. Read more about them at squarespace.com. /7. Okay, remember, if you sign up now for Squarespace, it's only $8 a month, and you get Matt Raz and a free domain if you buy Squarespace for the year. So start a trial with no credit card required and start building your website today. All right, when you decide to sign up for Squarespace, make sure to use the offer code IDIOTS to get 10% off your first purchase and to show your support for our podcast. That's promo code IDIOTS. Squarespace, start here, go anywhere. Now we got our guest in the building. How you pronounce your name, player?
Nathaniel Mary Quinn.
Nathaniel Mary Quinn.
Well, you can call me Quinn.
Yeah, I
told
him that your name was Quinn. I didn't know that was your last name.
Well, listen,
Yeah, it's my last name.
Okay, good.
First of all, I just gave y'all a little tip. When you're not sure of a person's name,
Just go how you pronounce
How you pronounce your name, player? You got to do it just like that, though.
And then they look at you and go, Mike.
Yeah, you can't be that. Yeah. Bob.
Or saying like Oprah Winfrey, this is Nathaniel Mary Quinn. You know, that would be awesome.
Now, you own an art gallery in Brooklyn.
No. I do not own an art gallery. I have an art studio.
Explain.
Right.
What's the difference?
All right, so
Yeah.
an art gallery is an institution, either commercial or non-commercial, that exhibits or put on display works of art.
So Art Gallery is Foot Locker. You own the sneaker making manufacturer.
I actually make the sneaker
You make
that
the
goes
sneakers.
into Foot Locker,
Exactly.
right.
But you're not a small Chinese boy.
No.
No.
So you
I need a few of them in my studio to help me make the work.
Send all Chinese boys over.
Yeah.
So you do.
Preferably from China. Yeah,
You
not
don't be
America.
Is there a lot of good artists in China?
Yeah, it's a lot of good artists all over the world. Absolutely. I mean, in fact, the contemporary art market in China is exceptional. It's
Okay.
great, yeah.
So let's be clear. I want to say this in hood terms. You actually cook the dope,
Right.
manufacture the dope,
Yeah.
and give it to the guys that deal the dope.
They deal with the dope.
Got you.
Gallery is the corner boys.
The galleries, all right, so you have certain galleries who are corner boys, and you have galleries who are like the chief in command. You understand what I'm saying to you?
So some galleries, okay. I love this is the best conversation
Yeah.
about art in the history of art conversations.
Yeah.
All right, explain. So
Yeah.
how are some chief in command?
Because they have. All right, so when you're dealing drugs, right, you got like three cats you dealing with, right? You got the drug dealer, then you got the person making the delivery of the package, and you got a shooter, right? That's usually what's, you never really see the shooter.
Tax Stone.
Shout out to
Tax.
the motherfucking
So you have, I'm from the south side of Chicago, so I grew up in the Robert Taylor homes. I wouldn't know this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
You lucky to be alive, brother.
very lucky to be alive. Very lucky to be alive. Done a lot of bad things in my day.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah,
We're gonna get into that.
But go ahead, explain the
So
confusion.
basically, the corner boy galleries, corner boys, if you make the association between corner boys and galleries, right? Certain galleries, like 4th, 5th tier galleries, perhaps, right? They, they're moving product to whoever they can move it to, right? To their clientele, right? Then you have like the guy that's in charge, right? The Nino
taste-
Brown.
The tastemakers.
Right, the
yeah.
Nino Brown
Frank Lucas.
of the drug game
Yeah.
or the art game, right? Now they're selling to other Nino Browns like them. And they're making trades with each other.
Okay.
And they flipping the product, putting it back on the market, raise the price. They probably put a little whip on it, you know what I mean? A little different. How you get a whip on a product of art, right? Well, if you put it in MoMA, put a little whip on it now, right? Or you put it in the Whitney Museum,
Gotcha,
So you
put a little whip on
You
it,
take
right?
a painting, right? I buy a painting from you. I have a
Right.
connection over at the MoMA, which is
Right.
the Museum of Modern Art
Right.
here in New York City,
Right.
Which is a prestigious museum, probably one of the most prestigious
Right.
museums in the world. If I
Yeah.
could get that displayed in the MoMA,
Right.
then the
So
price
whip
of that
on it.
art goes. So
Yeah.
that's putting a little
On the
baking
value
soda.
of the piece, on my career, right?
Oh, but you benefit from it too. Then.
I absolutely.
'Cause now all your other pieces are
you
reflected
just
by that.
listen. You're just moving my name around. That's all you're really doing. So it's making my value as an artist go through the sky.
Now listen, I see a lot of these paintings that, people say are worth $3-4 million, all these Basquiat and all this shit. Some of that shit just looks so plain to me. I'm like, why would you pay $3 million for this shit? Like I've literally seen things
Right.
on trains,
Yeah.
on walls in Harlem that look better
Yeah.
than Basquiat. Like
Yeah.
somebody like Banky, I like Banky shit.
Banksy.
Yeah, Banksy.
Banksy. What is his name? What is
Yeah.
it?
Bakey.
Banksy.
What is his name?
Banksy.
Banksy?
Bakey
Yeah.
is the weed head
Banky
Banksy.
shit look hotter than any of
Now,
that
if you want to,
Basquiat shit.
you can subscribe to dude. The basically will say that.
You got a real fan of the show right here.
My God.
He was waiting to drop that subscribe.
But why is that shit that's so
Yeah.
plain worth so much?
You know what?
Supply and demand, man.
You know, here's the thing. Well, look, you have. First of all, I do not want to pretend that I am the authority on this particular subject matter, right? Because I don't know the inner workings and underpinnings about the relationship between a work of art and the value that will be attached to that particular work of art. Like we're talking about Jean-Michel Basquiat, or you're talking about, another artist whose
Picasso.
work. Well, there's two different artists, right? Two different periods in history. Just two different everything, right? But let's stick with Basquiat because I know what Charlamagne is referring to here, right? So, in layman terms, a Basquiat could kind of look or remind you of a work of art that could be made by a child.
A kid.
Right? Got
My
it.
daughter can make some hot Basquiat shit right now at 6 years old.
Right. However, art is very much attached to the time in which it was created, right? So here was a time when Basquiat was working, during a particular historical period where this kind of art was, given a lot of value. It was challenging many of the art practices of the day. So we're talking about the 60s and the 70s. So that kind of makes a difference. Andy Warhol, right? So now we got to talk about part two of this, is talk about the connections that an artist may have. So Andy Warhol and Basquiat had a really good relationship with each other, artistically speaking, professionally speaking. Andy Warhol already himself was a huge deal in the art world.
He's another very simple painter.
Right.
Not even a painter.
Whatever you
Well,
Didn't he just paint on top
Campbell
of
soup
pictures?
can.
Yeah, just change the colors. Yeah.
But once again, I consider the time, right? So
Right.
in Andy Warhol's time, during that particular time in American history, when you have like pop art, so it's, and was a pop artist, so popular art, so art made about popular iconographic images in American culture, right? And how the overproduction of such images can dilute the significance of the image. So Andy Warhol was really just making a play on that, which is actually very clever and very smart. And on top of that, it had never really been done. So let me put this another way.
But he was commercial, right?
He was huge commercial success.
So was Warhol like the Flow Rider of art?
Warhol was the Jay-Z of art.
Oh, really?
Yeah, huge.
Okay.
And in fact, bigger than Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z album, no matter how great the album is, you will never see an album made by Jay-Z go to Christie's auction and sell for $60 million. But Warhol's go for $60 million every day.
Now, see, this is weird to me because I'm not cultured in the world of art. I don't pretend to be. That's one of the reasons I brought you here, because I want to know why these niggas are so annoying.
And I'm still learning myself. Just want to make that clear. I'm still understanding this myself because
I'm just trying to figure out why all this simple shit is booming for so much money. Like, it'd be the most simplest shit that really looks like a first or second grader did it, and it's booming. People will sit there and just stare at it for hours like, you see that? And I'm like, I don't see shit but bullshit.
You know what I would do if I had a $60 million painting in my house? I'd let a girl look at it, and then I'd place my hand on her pussy. And if it didn't get wet, I would return that motherfucker and get my money back.
I agree with you.
I think there's something wrong with your pussy or something wrong with this fucking Warhol.
I can tell you right now, it's not a girl that I've had sex with that would appreciate a $60 million Warhol. I gotta leave a price tag on that motherfucker.
Right.
That shit costs $60 million.
That shit need to come with Warhol. He need to stand next to the fucking painting.
But so check this out. But so all right. So you talk about hip hop music, right?
Yeah.
Now a lot of people would say, the Biggie Smalls, the best lyricist of art ever walked the face of the earth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was such a good lyricist.
Yeah. Remember that West Coast?
Right.
Remember that West Coast?
Yeah.
The best.
A
This
lot of
Pac
people
nonsense.
will make this argument, right? And then on the other hand, speaking of West Coast, people will make the argument that Tupac was, quote unquote, the best lyricist to ever walk the face of the earth.
Pac was so simple.
Warhol was too. Basquiat was also so-called simple.
So
but
Pac is
for some
Basquiat.
reason, Tupac has garnered and continues to garner this incredible amount of respect for his work, right? In fact, I've seen Tupac poems on exhibition at the Bronx Museum of the Arts. I mean, this is the amount of respect this guy has garnered for himself.
You know why? Because Pac, his delivery was so easy to digest.
So was Basquiat.
Okay, I see
his
what you're
delivery
saying,
was very easy to digest. And Basquiat's work, he was a cultural critic of American society and the underpinnings of the politics of American society, and he made it very accessible to the viewer, right? Which explains why he may have used this approach to making his work that would be akin to children's paintings, or whatever you want to say.
Right.
But, he's making these comments about Black American thought, treatises of that nature.
Question. Okay. So, because this is something we were discussing before the podcast right here. I find it interesting in the art world. It seems like you need a co-signer, right? Like in our world right here, we have, this podcast, and the internet, and we kind of utilize the internet. We put it out there, and then the people consume it, right? Because it doesn't cost $60 million, right? The people eat it up. Like you were saying, it's cheaper, right? So they eat it up. So the people kind of decide. So we don't need a co-signer. We don't need a Jay-Z or an Andy Warhol to go, yo, this is the new podcast.
Right.
The people decide this the new podcast.
Yeah.
But art can't exactly work like that because the price tag is so high.
Right.
Like it worked for Banksy because the price tag was $0. He gave the world the art, right?
Yeah.
But a price tag for a Basquiat at $4 million
or much more than $4 million.
Or more than that. Or like even your work, you said goes between 25 and 60 grand.
Yeah, 16 and 25,000.
Sorry, 16 and $25,000 for per piece, right?
Yeah.
You, in a weird way, you were saying like the people that buy your art add value to your art.
Yeah,
right.
Depending on the collectors who like
these famous collectors that will come to you. I mean, can we mention some
collectors
of the people?
Out of Russia.
Your gallery's in London. Like it's a global thing.
Pace London. Yeah.
So you had like you said, Swiss was over at the
Swiss Beast came. In fact,
that's how I got turned on.
Because Swiss called Charlamagne from my studio and put me on the phone with Charlamagne, and that's why.
But isn't it interesting, like how different the worlds are? Is like the way that our quote unquote art is being consumed. It's more or less free, right? So people can.
Well, podcast is a thing, right? So that is a very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Like, how do you gain? How do you create value to the art without these people who have the money to, consume it? Basically.
Well, okay,
you can't, right?
So here's the thing, right? There's always value to art. The value of a work of art is not dependent upon any external factor.
Right. Monetary value. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I'm not talking about what you get emotionally from it or
even what it means. Just because you don't see it doesn't make it invalid, right?
I get it, yeah.
All right, cool. Now,
every time a joke of mine bombs, that's the exact same way I feel.
Yeah, but for the joke to bomb, it's a philosophical notion, right? Because you have the public opinion of the joke, but there's someone in that audience who may have found that joke to be extremely funny. Exactly. And that person could be a tastemaker in the comedy world. Could be.
That goes to show you why so many whack-ass comedians get on. So many whack-ass comedians get movie roles.
You see that all
TV,
the time.
Why do you say that?
Because all it takes is one person to like your shit.
But now I feel like it's changing. I feel like now there's so much more emphasis, at least on entertainment, on the people.
Nah, I actually think.
Look at the people who are winning, Charlamagne.
I'm going to tell you why, though. Because it's people that are winning, but they're winning because of the people. These executives still don't get it. These executives can look at a motherfucker who came from the ground up, who has 5 million followers on YouTube, whatever, and they be like, I don't know what to do.
But they are doing it. Look at Wild 'N Out. Half of the cast is internet cats. Like these people are good. Look at you. You are a person of the people, right? Mm-hmm. And you get phone calls about possible movie roles, TV roles, all the fucking time. Meetings that you take. This is not from executives going, I think this guy's got talent.
Charlamagne.
The people fucking put it out there.
Charlamagne's position in contemporary culture makes him more or less a fisher. So on one hand,
but the people gave him that position.
Like pussy?
Yeah, like a split, like a ripple, right? Yeah. So on one hand, Charlamagne is like this public figure, right? Mm-hmm. He's known as the Howard Stern of hip hop, right?
That's what Rolling Stone said. By
the way. Right. He's like this phenomenal cultural critic. Period. Right. Mm-hmm. He's very accurate, very honest.
You're overselling this a whole lot, but continue.
You know what I mean? But on the
I'm just imagining you talking about me like this. So I'm just like, keep going. This is great.
But on the other hand, he because he's such a risk taker, right? And he's kind of risky. Mm-hmm. And he's not trying to be risky. He's just honest. And being honest oftentimes in the viewpoints of other people is you being risky or outlandish or whatever the case may be, right? But it just turns out that he is sort of recognizing the movement of contemporary culture in such a way that executives can't see because executives are not on the ground floor like Charlamagne.
Oh,
But now they don't need to see because of the following. Like if you have influence, it makes it easier for the execs. I want someone with influence. Boom. When this guy does something, pushes
it.
it.
Tell you why, because even when you talk about the guys on Wild 'N Out, they still have to audition.
But they're brought in. These people would never have been brought in before.
That's a
They're
good
given
point,
opportunities
That's
that they would. Some kid from fucking Charleston, North Carolina. What is it, South Carolina? Charleston, South Carolina would never been given an opportunity that now he was because of this amazing following that he's got.
See, the thing I personally hate about it is like you create all of this art.
Yep.
You know, because it is all art at the end of the day. Whether it's painting,
Yep.
whether it's comedy, whether it's
Yeah.
radio, whether
Yep.
it's all
Yep.
art. You
Yep.
create all of this art.
Yep.
People love it.
Yep.
Only for you to have a quote unquote gatekeeper be like, no, you need to change it up like this.
But
And
imagine
these
on his level,
Hold
like
on, hold on. But these gatekeepers are otherwise known as art critics.
art critics.
yeah, exactly.
So art critics, they write about shows and artists and things like that.
Yeah.
And they talk about the art and give their viewpoint. Art critics oftentimes will admit, I don't really know.
Why are you here?
Right, because art is so subjective, right?
Yeah, so why are they here?
You're giving your subjective
these critics,
perception.
right?
Yes.
But
think it's
critics have, like this incredible wealth of knowledge about art history and about different kinds of art. You got abstraction.
See, he can't shit on the critics right now.
figurative, I mean,
You got to play the game
no,
right.
No,
I hear
listen,
you.
I wouldn't admonish anybody's hustle.
Yeah.
If you're an art critic, great. You know
Yeah.
you know a whole lot more about this than I do. Whatever, right? So, they're like these so-called gatekeepers, but true gatekeepers are the curators. So a curator is a person who
Puts your shit in their gallery.
put the shows together, right?
Yeah,
Put art shows. They're like perpetual DJs, right? They kind of get the right songs that will go together to fit a certain theme.
But those are the people that believe the hype. And what I mean by that is those are the ones that usually say, yeah, this guy's hot right now. He's doing this, he's doing that. We need him here.
So they believe the hype from the critics?
Hold
yeah,
on.
they believe the hype more than the critics. They're more on the ground level than the critics.
No, that's actually not particularly true. I think most curators are invested in doing shows or putting on exhibitions that actually goes against the grain of the hype. They're trying to challenge perceptions as they may stand. What I mean? They're trying to really push the envelope in the art world. What I mean? Like they're not so much buying into the so-called hype. So you have like these non-commercial exhibitions. So you see a space that's held in a church, right? So that goes against the grain of the traditional trope of doing a show in a white wall space.
But going against the tradition, going against the grain, I think it's something we can relate to.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you
But
pushing
I feel
the
like
envelope.
I would be super overwhelmed, to be honest with you, by the fact that like a lot of your monetary success is in the hands of other people.
Yeah,
And don't get me wrong, before, I was given the opportunity to be on TV and given the outlet of the podcast, it's like I maybe didn't have that exposure to people. But now that I do have that exposure to people, I have people who, fuck with me, et cetera. Like, I love the freedom of going, I could put something on YouTube. Like, I'm developing something right now for YouTube that I could give right to the people. And part of me goes, I don't know if I want to pitch it to any TVs. I think I might want to have that. You know what I mean? But, like, as an artist, since the people that you need to attract have to have tons of money, do you feel it all
a lot
limited?
of connections?
And
No.
Do you feel limited by the fact that these people need to, in a way, co-sign? Like, you don't have maybe the same freedom that the internet maybe allows a Vine star, like a YouTube star.
You know what, man? It's like a very unique and interesting chess game. There are people that even as we speak, I'm reaching out to, trying to gain contact with.
Yeah.
Because I want my work to be in certain spaces, right? Like I would like to be in this museum show.
Like, give me an example.
This
Like,
gallery show.
Where's the place you want?
Like I want to be in a group exhibition in the museum.
Yeah.
Right?
So you paint. You actually...
Yeah, I make works on paper and paintings and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So my last museum show is at
What's your website, by the way, so people can check it out while they listen?
NathanielMaryQuinn.com.
Okay.
But
That sounds like three different people, by the way, but that has nothing. Mary and Quinn.
Yeah.
You got three first names. Like,
well, you know what? Mary is my mother's name.
Okay.
And my mother never had an education.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I adopted her name as my middle name. So on all of my degrees, it says like Mary Quinn. So it's like my mom went to school now. Or she has a master's degree, or she won like, I graduated, like Madam Cum Laude from college. You
were from the South Side of Chicago, and you ended up going to where? Where'd you go to school?
I went to a private boarding high school in Indiana called Culver Academies. It's like one of the top 15 best.
Because your art.
No, because of my academics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then from there, I went straight to college, Wabash College in Indiana. And I double majored in art and psychology. I was inducted to Phi Beta Kappa Academic Honor Society. It's like the highest academic honor society.
Was South Side Chicago different?
How you do all of that from South Side Chicago, my brother?
What happened?
Now, let's not get it fucked up. Oprah Winfrey's from Chicago.
Yeah,
Barack
right.
Obama's from Chicago.
That's right.
It was a whole different perception
Yeah.
of Chicago before all this Chief Keef shit. The Globe
Whoa,
shit.
so let me explain. So let me just give you the backstory, right? So I grew up in the Robert Taylor homes of Chicago, right?
Projects.
Where motherfuckers got killed every day.
Yeah.
I love when people call them homes.
Well, I'm just calling. Yeah, that's the official title. They don't.
Or houses. I live in the Franklin houses.
Yeah, right.
Nah,
No,
man.
these were like bona fide projects, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like the purest form of poverty, gang violence, drugs,
You
drug
seen fucked up
transactions.
shit?
Seen a lot of fucked
Like
up
what?
shit.
What's the most fucked up shit you saw growing up?
There was a girl I knew growing up named, I think her name was Siobhan. Light-skinned girl, real nice. She had like brothers, and the Nintendo had just come out during this. I'll never forget this.
She was
And-
pretty?
Yeah, really good looking girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which Nintendo? The first Nintendo with
Yeah,
Duck
the
Hunt and
first
Super Mario
Nintendo.
Brothers?
Yeah.
80s babies, baby.
Right.
Not Super Mario. Super Mario was Super Nintendo.
Now,
Mario Brothers.
So check this out, right? They, in fact, Duck Hunt,
Duck
Duck
Hunt,
Hunt,
yeah.
right? With the little
Yeah.
It used to be
plastic.
on the same
Yeah,
game.
God,
It was
yeah.
Super Mario Brothers, actually. It was Super Mario Brothers
Yeah.
and Duck Hunt on the same game.
Right. So
Really?
I used to go to her place, and that's true. What he's saying, what Charlamagne saying.
Okay, I
that's
thought
true,
it was
yeah.
Mario Brothers, then Super
Yeah.
came out with Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
But in fact, I'm not even sure that is true. I'm
But
just
whatever, yeah,
going
yeah,
along
yeah.
with
You're
it.
really an idiot, baby. You fit right in. Don't even worry about it. That's our MO here. Don't give a fuck if it's true or not. We roll
All
with
right,
it.
let's
Sounds
go.
good.
As you're telling
So
the
I was
story,
playing a game with her because she was like the only one in the projects with this, right? I mean,
Right.
it was
You're
like,
playing
whoa,
Nintendo.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there were always fights in the project. Like everyone would run downstairs to check out the fight, And of course, she went down to see a fight one particular day, and I didn't go to see that fight because people got shot all the time at the fights. And I'll never forget this. The next day, I went downstairs to check the mailbox, and I get off the elevator, and there she was, lying on the floor, dead.
shot.
Shot, dead.
From the fight before? Did they
She must have gotten shot, at some point that night from the fight before,
Come
yeah.
on, now let's talk about this.
No, but seriously,
No.
the guy who shot her
No.
needed to be playing more Duck Hunt so he could aim better. That's the problem.
No,
That's-
fuck that. You mean to tell me you was in her house playing her Nintendo and didn't even know that she came back? She didn't come back?
No. This is what I used to do with her.
What happened?
No. I used to play, that's how I know her. I used to
Okay.
play this game with her all the time. That's why I
Yeah.
know she's Siobhan.
Oh, you wasn't playing with her at the time.
No, because at the time.
Oh, I thought you
I
was
thought
playing.
they were next to each
yeah,
other
I thought y'all
playing.
were with each
No,
other
no.
playing the game.
I'm just giving you a background story on how I know her.
Got you.
But at the same time, on any particular
Just
day,
hear some guns and a girl scream and you start playing like, Siobhan, you good? All right, that's cool.
So you discovered the body.
I saw the body, right?
Yeah,
It
a
may
lot
have
of
already
people-
been discovered by somebody
Did
else.
you
know
call the
what I mean?
police?
No. Hell no. You call the fucking cops.
So you just
Crazy?
left her body laying there?
Yeah, that's what you
You
did.
killed her for a Nintendo, you sick motherfucker.
Let's be
You
honest.
sick motherfucker.
Did you take
Killed
that
the
Nintendo?
girl.
Keep it real.
Nintendo.
Did you take
You
that
cannot
Nintendo?
trust these Chicago motherfuckers,
That'd
man.
be fucked up. Yo, did you go to her mom like, listen, I'm really sorry about Siobhan being dead and all, but like, you still gonna let me rock with that Nintendo, right?
Chicago motherfuckers are savages, dog.
Oh my
Jesus
God!
Christ.
It was horrible, man.
What else?
It's
What
another
else?
story. It's another story,
Yeah.
right? So I grew up like you have BDs and GDs, like Black Disciples, Gangster Disciples. You got folk. You got Vice Lords. You got Blackstones. You know what I'm saying?
See, I never understood that part of the gang thing. Like, I never understood, like, if it was black disciples, why were the rivals the gangster disciples? The rivals should have been the white disciples.
No,
That would have been. I know that. That
Yeah.
makes no sense to me. It's like
We weren't organized like that back then.
Yeah,
in the
no,
South
it was
Side of Chicago.
it was horrible, man. So
what were you?
I was nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean I wasn't even a neutron. Because even to say that shit could have got you fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
What's a neutron?
Neutron is like a neutral person. You're not affiliated with the gang. But when you say you're a neutron,
I think it's a new gang.
What you're really saying is, fuck
with
BDs, fuck GDs.
Yeah.
I'm a neutron because I don't fucking care about you niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're really saying, right? And then they fuck you up over that. So you gotta be like, I ain't with shit, man.
I don't think I got a problem with that though, because I'm one of those people too that like I don't trust people that are scared to commit to something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't trust people that are scared to
to commit to something. So,
you're gonna commit to murder and death?
I'm
and
just saying,
fucking
you can't be
dying
neutral.
at 22 years old.
You gonna be neutral around here?
I'm not gonna be neutron, but I'm not gonna be anything. I'm gonna say I don't know any of you guys.
Okay.
I'm playing Duck Hunt,
but-
dog. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing Duck Hunt. I am playing Super Mario Brothers, and that's it.
But you know what? On the other hand, I mean, you really could have found yourself in a very compromising situation, right?
Yeah. So what happened?
So here, it was my compromising event, right?
Oh, somebody got raped. You got come on, Mr. Quinn. So you got
you guys could have seen the comfortable position that Charlamagne just relaxed into. He said, "You guys could have got raped," and then
He's
he
about to tell us
leaned
about
back
a good man
and
rape.
kicked his fucking shoes off, laid his fucking legs down like he was about to have the best thing happen. He tucked his hand in his pants like Al Bundy sat on the couch.
I hear a good man rape story about that.
No. So listen, I would get out of school, and a lot of times gang wars broke out after school. Right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, it's gunshots everywhere. So you're just trying to get home. Now, okay, so I went to a school called Coleman Elementary Public School.
Okay.
All right, it was on 47th State Street. I live in the building preceding the school on 4500 South State Street. For short, we called the building 4500. Right?
Yeah.
Then after that was 4555, right? I'm from Chicago, so you say 4555, like that, right? You know, 4562, you know what I mean? Like that, right? And then all those cluster of buildings were occupied by black disciples, right? BDs, right? Like folks, right?
Yeah.
And then after that were another cluster of buildings by GDs, right? GD folks, right?
Yeah.
And they were rivalry gangs.
You're throwing up every sign as you say the gangs.
Yeah.
You're not a neutron.
Yeah.
This is not a neutron. Spelling gangster with his fingers right here.
Yeah, like a pitchfork.
Can you do that?
Whatever, right? So listen. In my school, of course, you had kids who were from either given environment, right?
Yeah.
They were from like the BD territory or the GD territory.
Yeah.
There's one kid, I'll never forget this, and at the time, I had like a yellow Steelers coat. Like a starter coat. Remember that shit, the starter coat?
Yeah.
Had a yellow Steelers starter coat, right?
Yeah.
And this kid, he lived in the GD territory. What that means is this. He would have to bypass the BD territory
Just to get where
to get home
Yeah.
in the GD territory.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a video game you're not gonna win, but ever so often. You might make it
Yeah.
past that level once
So-
or twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're only gonna make it.
Bang.
Yeah. You need a cheat code for that one.
And you know, it goes.
That game genie.
Right, it comes to end. That's it.
So he goes through.
I told him, you know what I'm talking about? I told him, I said, yo, take the train tracks, run down the tracks, come down, you go. Because you can bypass all that, right?
Yeah.
Good looking. He did that. I'm walking home. Didn't hear from him since. I look up, I saw my man running in the opposite direction. Then I saw a group of cats coming after him. I said, oh, damn, he's going to get caught. Then before
Press pause, man. Pause.
Yeah.
Reset this game, please.
that's it.
That's my last continue, man. I can't be fucking.
Yeah, he's going to be captured, right? They're going to catch this guy, and they're going to, like, demolish him or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, right after seeing that incident, that whole scene, I found myself surrounded by about 10 BDs, right? And I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And one cat walked up to me, yo, man, we saw you trying to help homeboy out and shit, man. I said, nah, I ain't help nobody. He said, man, you the only motherfucker with the yellow Steelers coat. We knows you. I said, all right, man. So and my mom is on the porch, 6th floor. I lived in apartment 604. She's looking at me, helpless, defense. She can't do anything.
911, maybe?
You know, call the cops.
Oh, that's it. I understand.
No.
I get it.
I agree with you.
I get it.
But when you living in that
I grew up the
context,
same way,
it's
yeah.
that shit,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like freaking out. I'm thinking like, this is it. I'm about
Yeah.
to get popped, right? The guy pulls out a gun. He's pointing it in my chest at this point. I'm about to die. And I'm accepting it willingly. There's nothing I can fucking do about it, right?
Did your light flash before your eyes?
Yeah, everything flashed
Word.
before my eyes, and I think I may have felt some shit come out of my ass because I was just that fucking afraid, right? And
And
then
what is your mom doing at the time?
she's just looking. She on the porch, the
Making she's making his she's making his funeral arrangements. By this time.
So the projects, the facade of the Robert Taylor was like this gate.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see her fingers through the holes in the gate. The crisscross pattern of the gate. And right at that moment, some cat came out of nowhere. Yo, don't mess with him, man. He's cool, man. His mom be making us dinners and everything for Thanksgiving. He's good. The guy lowers his gun. The guy who saved me gave me a hug, whispering in my ear, yo, get out of here, man. They changed their mind quick. And he let me go, and I fucking ran home. I will never forget that shit.
Did you ever see those guys again?
Nah, never saw him again. Never saw him again. That shit was
God
crazy.
damn.
See, I had a lot of experiences like that one.
Why do you think Chicago is the way that it is, and why has the mentality not changed?
So let me give you a little background here, man. So in the 1920s, there was something that took place in America called the Great Migration, right? So a lot of Southerner blacks from the South migrated from the South to the North. So to Southerners, the North are places like Chicago, Detroit, things like that, right? And there's this influx of black folks moving to Chicago in hopes of getting better jobs, having a better life, right? And they settled on the South Side of Chicago, which as a result became known as the Black Belt of the city, right? Then these buildings were built. These, what they are now known as projects. But they were built for temporary living purposes.
Absolutely, all projects are temporary.
You know what I'm talking
housing,
about? And then after a while, the families will stay longer than expected. The city started to become more negligent of maintaining the buildings, the infrastructure of the buildings, the grounds, garbage taken out, heat, water, things like that. And then, a severe lack of resources, no hospitals, no jobs. All these things, they work as a perfect
Subpar education.
Yeah, substandard education.
Perfect storm.
A perfect storm that would eventually create what had become, right? Which is this gang culture. Gang culture driven by a need to survive in a world that seemed to have been designed for their inevitable destruction. And the destruction of innocent people like myself, right? Who was just a kid coming from school and who nearly lost his life because I was trying to save one. That's crazy.
I've been saying that for so long. America caused this problem on themselves because, like you said, they built these temporary housings, and it's like a project that they didn't finish. You know what I mean? They built these temporary housing. It created this perfect storm, but it's like, yo, you got to go back in there.
But why the
and
violence?
finish that?
That's what I don't understand.
A
What's
need
the
to
purpose?
survive.
But for why? Like, why the violence? to
Because
survive?
everybody mama ain't cooking dinners for you, bro.
And my mother, because in the
But
project,
the violence has to do with drugs, right? Obviously, people
Money,
are killing.
drugs. I got to eat. We got to survive.
But
Like,
killing
Andrew.
someone doesn't help you eat.
all right. So listen, this.
ever tasted
Wait,
some
hold on.
flesh?
This.
No,
how,
I haven't
tasted
tasted
but
human
this-
flesh.
You've tasted some human flesh?
But so check this out, right? Let's think about it from a perspective of like evolution, right?
Yeah.
And so we can learn and understand how like tenuous it is, the line between surviving and being humanistic, right?
Oh, don't get me wrong. When I'm hungry, I become less human.
Nobody
You know
out
what I
there
mean?
killing people to
You know what I'm
eat.
saying?
Eat
Like,
them Schulz.
No. I'm saying when I get hungry and when you're in a suffering situation, you become less human. You could do less human acts. That's
Got you.
I
Yeah, yeah.
totally agree
Yeah.
with
Right.
that. But what I'm saying is, there has to be a driving force for the gang violence, right? Like that, there has to be
Territory,
But
turf.
what are we protecting this turf for? Is it drugs? Like I'm not
Drugs,
just going to
yeah.
protect turf and then we grow dandelions.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? There needs to be something.
Yeah, they're
that's-
selling drugs.
so it is drugs,
Yeah.
right? So
and they
is-
want to control the inhabitants of the buildings, right? That's why the residents did not
say anything,
call the cop. Yo,
Exactly.
there been times I actually did call 911.
and they said,
And
no.
I tell them the address, they fucking hang up on you. They're not coming over there. And then every time you saw like a ribbon hanging on the wall, like a cloth, it was black and purple. That was always like a symbol of a cop, a Chicago police officer who was shot and killed. And I've seen that
So they
plenty of
scared.
times.
They scared the cops out of the projects.
Cops didn't come over there.
So
And
now
it-
you have no law. What do we all talk about when there's
no
no
law,
law?
man.
Yeah,
recklessness,
it's complete
yeah.
mayhem. So you had that. Then you had like substandard education, as we discussed already. You have, no job opportunities, no employment services. And then most cats who live in environments like that, they never venture out, right? Because part of being successful is one's courage to explore.
Yeah.
True.
That's how you become successful.
Yeah.
But if you don't believe in the prospects of your future success, you don't have any reason to explore. You just don't explore.
I read that this morning. I read this. Well, my wife reads this Joel Osteen book every morning. It just gives you like positive reinforcement, to wake up in the morning. That's what he said. He said you got to create expectation. He said life is just based off the expectations you create for yourself.
Right.
So if you don't have no other expectations other than the projects, fuck it.
No, they just did not have any reason whatsoever to believe in the promise of a better tomorrow.
Word.
They just didn't believe in that at all. It wasn't a part of their mindset. I'll tell you what I used to do though.
Listen to Annie. Girls will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar there'll be sorrow, but there'll be sun.
That's what you should have taken your daughter to, not fucking.
We did go see Annie
Notorious.
together, sir.
Yeah.
And I had to fucking ask
This guy took
myself.
his 2-month-old daughter to Notorious.
I did,
They
and-
wouldn't even do that in the South
You
Side
have a
of Chicago.
2-month-old daughter?
Well, no, she's 6 now at the time when the Taurus came out. I took her. But I did take her to see Annie, and you know what I fought with in that? Before I'm just let you finish your point.
Sure.
I was like, should I tell her that Annie was white, or should I just be like, fuck it?
Annie's whoever Annie is in the movie. It's
She's
fake,
black. That's why I
dog.
said
It's
fuck
not
it.
real. White Annie wasn't real either.
Fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Annie's black. We don't know no white Annie.
Exactly.
We know white Jesus. That's good. That's all y'all get.
All right.
All right.
Jesus could be whatever color you want. I really don't give a fuck.
And Jesus don't even know he was here.
What if
man.
Jesus is black? Like, does that change anything?
Man,
Like, people make a big deal out of it. Like, does it change?
No,
First of
it
all,
doesn't.
he looks Persian. We all know,
Yeah.
or he looks
I
not
actually-
Persian.
I
He
actually-
looks
I actually-
Israeli or
yeah.
Palestinian.
no, he
That's-
doesn't. He looks Spanish.
I don't actually
He looks
think-
like Jesus.
No, he looks.
No,
He looks
doesn't.
like the people who live there.
He looks Spanish.
What are you talking about?
Jesus. Have
Man,
you ever seen a
shut
picture
up.
of
Spanish?
Jesus?
Like Jesus?
Jesus.
You are out of your
Jesus
motherfucking
Christ
mind.
looks Spanish.
I have a
man.
friend who has
Jesus
a,
Cristo.
I have a friend.
Jesus Cristo.
I have a friend who's dating this guy named Jesus, and she's like, "Oh, he disappeared on me." And I respond, I says, "Well, with a name like that, you would think he'd be around more often."
No, you tell him he might be back in 3
He'll
days.
be back. Yeah, he'll be
3
back.
days. Hey, wait 3 days. He'll be back. Don't
Come
worry.
on now. Look at Jesus. Look at these pictures of Jesus. That's a Spanish man if I ain't never seen him.
That's not. That
Come
shit
on,
is
look,
wrong.
Look.
You tell me a Spanish guy that you know that got hair like that.
Long hair like Rico Suave. You don't remember fucking Rico Suave? You out your goddamn mind?
Jesus.
Nah, I'm too young for that shit.
Well, that other Jesus
That
look
shit
like
guy
The
looks
Rock.
the guy who sells the fake butter.
All right, we'll get back to Mr. Quinn in a minute. Let's do this mid-roll.
All right.
You gonna do it?
Oh, I thought you going, man.
Oh.
This is,
Well, get clearer, smoother skin with bevel. Who doesn't want that?
I mean, I want it, Charlamagne.
I'll tell you who didn't want it.
Who's that?
Jesus Cristo.
That's right. He
had
wasn't
a
shaving
beard
at
and
all.
long hair.
Hey, you know what? Maybe if he shaved, they wouldn't have found him. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe if he shaved that
Okay, all
beard.
jokes aside.
Yeah.
If you're gonna die and come back, at least change your look when you come back.
I'm saying
They just killed you, though.
You went to heaven. You couldn't get a new robe, B? You're saying you're gonna go to heaven where your dad is the guy out there, and you gotta come back and you're not like, yo, you can't just give me some new threads.
Listen,
Pops.
Jesus, we're playing. Your father knows our heart, okay? It's all jokes. It's all jokes, Jesus. You know us. He created us, okay? You know we mean well.
All right.
All right. Bevel is the first and only shaving system created for men with coarse curly hair. Dermatologist tested by Dr. Michelle Henry. Okay? 4 out of 5 men reported reduced razor bumps, discoloration, and irritation.
Created by Tristan Walker, a young entrepreneur who wanted to serve a unique need in the marketplace. And ladies, Bevel's the perfect gift for your man this time of year. Dad, brother, husband, and presentation and packaging alone is impressive. It looks beautiful. It's like an Xbox.
Oh, yeah. Unboxing the Bevel kit feels like an event. It's like Pacquiao Mayweather if it ever happens.
Oh,
it's like
it's gonna
Super Bowl, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the starter kit comes with a safety razor, shaving brush, blades, priming oil, shaving cream, and a cooling restoring balm, okay? So it's time to upgrade your shaving routine, man.
Check out GetBevel.com today. Use code IDIOTS to get 20% off your first month at GetBevel.com. That's GetBevel.com.
So, Nate.
Yeah.
So,
How-
I'm sorry, real quick. Let me just ask you, because I've been thinking about this. Now we're talking about Jesus. Let's talk about other prophets, Muhammad. Like, you know how you can't draw any pictures of this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah,
that you,
apparently it's a sin.
it's
to
a
make an
sin that you
image
could
of
kill
Jesus.
somebody
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
draw an image of it.
Right.
Couple questions. One, I want to know.
I don't have a problem with that, by the way.
Well, let me just ask this.
How can one make an image of God if a man has never seen him?
But he's not God.
That's number
he's
one.
not God. He's a
yeah.
prophet. He's not God. His dad's God. He's a prophet just like
prophet
Jesus.
too.
The Son of God.
So we've seen this dude before. But my point is, who was the person who drew him first?
I've never seen a picture of Muhammad.
But somebody back in the day must have drawn this
And
motherfucker.
they probably drove him wrong, so they killed him.
It's his fault. He's the one that fucked it up for everybody.
Exactly. And guess what? Whoever drew the first picture of Jesus, too. We don't know what Jesus looked like.
Whoever drew
And
said Jesus was flattering.
And think about
He put him in a good. He had him doing P90X and shit. You know what I mean?
He's amazing. He's amazing. But that's my whole thing. It's like
That's what happened. He had the wrong artist.
Think about all the pointless arguments we have about whether Jesus is black or white, like
Right.
it matters. What
Very
matters is Jesus'
pointless
message.
indeed.
So
Yeah.
it's like this picture distracted us from what was important about
So
Jesus.
that's
to
the
begin
idea
with.
of Muhammad.
Don't draw none of the prophets, because you know why? It don't matter what they look like. What
yeah.
matters is their message. Is their message right? Is their message pure? Is their message positive?
Right.
That's all I care
I think
about.
you should be able
Yeah.
to draw it. I mean, here's the thing that I think is weird: is you can name whoever you want after him, but you can't draw him.
Well, here's
Like,
a
you can
problem.
name some idiot after this.
But here's
guy,
a problem.
You can't draw
Here's
him.
a
That's not
problem
weird?
with creating an image of such powerful figures in a culture like American culture, right? American culture is steeped in a history that is heavily defined by various notions of race.
Yeah.
So when you create images of figures who are seen as divine and majestic and powerful and can bring about transformation and change in human lives, and you draw an image of this figure, and the figure happens to be white,
Look,
then it's
everybody-
like,
everybody wants their God to look like them. When Jeremy Lin was playing basketball, did not all of the fucking Asians in New York City?
there's not
come
a
out to
problem with the
basketball
God
game?
looking like you. There's a problem when the image of that particular God is associated with certain ideas, right?
I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
That's the
agreed,
problem.
Agreed, but I'm
agree.
saying
The image itself is not the problem.
I agree. But I'm just saying that the reason the image reflects them, they were like, hey, we want these guys on our side. I guarantee if you if you went to, for example, if you're in Spain and you look at all the pictures of Christ, I guarantee he looks a little more Spanish. Then you go up to England and you
Absolutely.
look at the image. Like
Yeah.
if we look at
That
paintings,
actually makes sense.
now all of a sudden his teeth are fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
but guess
reflect
what?
the culture.
All of that shit don't mean nothing. It's all about the message. Fuck the image.
Right.
You know what
It's
I'm
about
saying?
the message.
That's it. Like I look at things like it says God created man in his image according to his likeness. That had nothing to do with physical appearance. That had everything to do with a mental mind state that he wanted us to reflect. He wanted us to have a godlike mind state.
No, that had to do with. Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with physical appearance. And then
We
it fucks
assume-
it up. Like if you show me a white Jesus and you say, this is who I'm supposed to submit to, this is who I'm supposed to be into, he don't look like me. Why should I listen to him? Why I gotta be like him for?
But then what happens is the reason it's a problem is because it reinforces this idea of superiority and inferiority, which suggests that if you do not worship this white Jesus, that means that you are having difficulty with submitting yourself to this power structure, because the power structure is that white Jesus is white because whiteness is superior, which is a modern notion, and it actually has no empirical weight and no genetic weight, right?
Yeah.
So there's no correlation between skin pigmentation and intellectual prowess, none whatsoever. It
Or
doesn't
genetics.
exist.
If you look at actual genetic
Yeah,
material,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm closer. Like a white guy from America is closer to. I think they said like a Nigerian or something like that than a white guy is from a Russian. Like the actual pigment of skin,
Yeah.
the genetics
That's
don't
nothing.
correlate at all.
It is as insignificant as your earlobe being attached or detached from your face.
Yeah.
That's how insignificant it is, right? Genetically speaking, according to genetic research, your DNA and my DNA is 98% identical.
That's it.
Yeah.
That means we are 2% away from being identical twins, right?
And that 2% is in this dick.
Dick talk.
Dick segment.
But we over here complaining about goddamn skin color. That's why I always say we're just spiritual beings living in human existence.
Yeah,
This
man.
shit means
Gives a
nothing.
fuck.
Yeah.
Listen, I think honestly, I think I come off insensitive. I was talking to someone about the other. I think I come off insensitive because I really don't think about race like that.
Me too,
Like
dog.
I literally,
yeah.
when I get information, the first thing I jump to is never, oh, this happened because of race. I go statistics, I go situation, I go whatever, I go historical influences, cultural influences. So when I hear something happens with the cops or when it happens whatever, right? Cops shoot somebody or something happens like that. My first thing isn't, oh, they did it because of black. I go, well, what's the situation? But I think people go, oh, well, he's, making it seem like, white people don't do bad stuff, or he's making it seem like cops don't do bad stuff. I grew up in New York City, man.
Or
White people are minority in New York City.
I didn't grow up in New York, but I grew up.
Race is not a big deal for me.
I grew up feeling like I am a spiritual being living a human existence. God is with me. God is going to always be with me. We're all God's children. If y'all motherfuckers want to sit around and, worry about stupid shit like skin color, when this zombie apocalypse come, watch everybody get eaten. Everybody gonna be equal in goddamn zombies.
In talking about energy, like my wife, right, Donna Augustine is my wife. She came in with me today. We're talking about energy, man. That shit is real, man.
Absolutely.
My wife's support of me and my art career and everything else I do is impeccable. It's unwavering.
I thought that she was your agent when I first met her. Remember? I asked you. I didn't even know. She was
you met her in Chicago? Or
I met her in Brooklyn, Best Eye. She's from London. She's from London, yeah.
First of all, tell us how you got out of Chicago. You killed the girl for a Nintendo. How did you get into art after almost getting killed?
Listen, I've always, real quick story, I've always been into
video
art.
games do lead to murder. I think that's what we can get out of this.
No, I wouldn't kill somebody as a result of a video game.
Or
as a result of being influenced by one either.
No, as a result
but let a critic talk shit about one of your art pieces. You're gonna be on duck hunt on their ass in a minute.
No, I don't think a critic's gonna take it there. But I was born with a talent, a gift, right, that allowed me the innate ability to make images that made sense, right? Yeah. Whatever. So, but you have to work at and stuff like that. So when I was in the 8th grade, there were these two teachers, Miss Jackson and Miss Pilcher.
Did you fuck one?
No.
Okay. Just asking. Just want to ask.
This back in the day. Now the teachers are fucking.
Yeah, now the teachers are fucking.
Back in the day, they were teaching.
I was like 15.
Yo, maybe that's the reason why American students are so dumb now. So teachers are busy fucking all the kids. They're not even teaching them anymore.
Ask me about something I know, like pussy.
Yeah, right.
Somebody about this goddamn math. What the fuck you talking about math?
Math and engineering, we don't know, but we got the best dick game in the fucking world right now. Absolutely.
Okay. And so the teachers told me about Culver Academies, this private boarding high school, right? And I went to visit the campus. I was blown away by it. I took the entrance exam that measure your academic aptitude, whatever. I got a 4-year academic tuition waiver scholarship to go to the school, right? So that was my escape from the projects. A month after being there, my mom passed away. So I went back to Chicago, attended my mother's funeral. That was that. Came back to school. She died like October. So November's rolling around, it's Thanksgiving, right? So I went back home thinking I would spend time with my 4 older brothers and my dad. I was 15. The next brother was already like 25, 24, right? I was a baby, So I get home. The apartment door was already open. When I pushed it open, the apartment was empty. The furniture was gone. My family was gone, and I haven't seen them since. And that is...
Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Your mom passed away.
Yeah,
you
when I was 15, yeah. In
That's
Chicago, yeah.
That's the last time you saw everybody?
Yeah. That is pretty much it.
Have you checked Facebook? Have you went on LinkedIn? Have you tweeted?
No, okay.
We're going to get a tweet from one of your family members who watches this like, yo, we've been looking for this motherfucker.
I mean, Quinn is a common name. I know a lot. I know Quinns across the country.
Yeah.
What happened?
So I remember it was there were a few articles of clothing on the floor, and that was it. My next door neighbor, her name was Diane, which is what that piece is based on that my wife showed you, right?
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, your family left 2 weeks ago. They didn't tell you?" I said, "No, no one told me anything." And I said, "Oh shit!" So I knew I couldn't stay in that empty apartment because if they had left 2 weeks prior, that place had already been transformed into a drug spot now, right? Yeah. So I can't stay there. So that night, I went to the South Side. Well, I lived on the South Side, but I went.
What year was this?
This is 1992.
Okay, so no cell phones. All right.
Yeah, no cell phones, anything like that. It's yeah. And I slept in the foyer of a Greystone. In Chicago, we have Greystones, like in Brooklyn, we have Brownstones in New York. And I spent the night, woke up the next day. I called my friend, Roosevelt, who at the time was also going to the same high school. I stayed with him. And that day, at that moment in my life, I made a pivotal decision. Either stay in these projects and die young or go back to this school and just see where it takes me. And I just had this unwavering belief that I was going to create for myself a good future. It was just that simple. I was not going to allow notions of race to stop me. I wasn't going to allow like socioeconomic status to stop me. I wasn't going to allow anything like that, anything that doesn't carry significant weight to hold me back. I just didn't believe in that at all. And I don't believe in it to this day. And a lot of people have helped me. People from, so I'm in high school, right? And every break, Thanksgiving, Christmas break, things like you got to leave the campus and go somewhere, right? So I would go home with other friends. But indirectly, I had the opportunity to travel around the country. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
How'd you have money to go home and shit like that?
Well, because the family would look after me. Because this is a rich school, right? It's probably in high school.
So you probably was around a lot of different people too.
Black,
white, Spanish,
all kinds, like money. Yeah. People have like they own horses and had horse stables. And one kid, his room, he had built in his room for Christmas like a 4-lane bowling alley. Man, it was like whoa, like I'd never seen anything like that, right? Yeah. So I'm about to graduate from high school, and I was like, man, I don't have anywhere to go. I might as well go straight to college. So what that meant was like school was a survival tactic now. Yeah. Like, most young people go to college for the experience of education. Yeah. I was like,
I need a place
enjoying that, but I was like, I need a roof over my head. Yeah. I need to eat. I need clothes, right?
Hey, better that than the streets, my brother.
Yeah. And so I got a 4-year academic scholarship again to go to college, Wabash College in Indiana. Worked hard. I was like strict with studying. I had very strict studying hours. And my goal was always get a GPA above a 3.5. But I was normally getting like a 3.9 or 3.92 or 4.1, depending on the advanced classes I was taking. And after college, I still have nowhere to go. So I went straight to graduate school, in which case I went to New York University where I got my Master's of Fine Arts degree. So by the time I was done with my master's degree, and the MFA is the highest degree you can get as an artist, right? Yeah. It's a terminal degree. By the time I was done with my education, I was 25 because I went straight through. Yeah. And I applied again for graduate school to get a PhD in social psychology. I got into 2 institutions. I was accepted into Michigan State University and the University of Rhode Island. Both schools gave me full ride because of the research that I was doing, which was like the association between men and women, attractiveness and waist to hip ratio and fat distribution, stuff like that, whatever. But I didn't go to get the PhD because I didn't need a PhD because I already had a terminal degree. Yeah. And I thought, I think I'm ready to just strike out on life, right? Yeah. But all those years, I was still struggling with the loss of my family. Yeah. I still struggle with the loss of my family. In
fact, they were killed?
I have no idea.
I mean, they moved, they packed up, and
they left. Out of there. They just left. They could be dead today for all I know. I have no idea.
Are you sure you didn't kill your family? Because it's a lot of mysterious things. It's a lot of mysterious disappearances and deaths around
I did not kill my family. I think for years.
Did your family hear about your student loans and say, fuck it, we're out of here?
Nah, man, my family, listen, my family had no scathing idea about the language surrounding student loans and scholarships and money.
Maybe you weren't your father's.
It's possible.
No, seriously.
It's possible.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, all right, you weren't your father's. Your mother, God bless the dead, unfortunately passed. And he was like, I'm out. And they was like, well, what about Nate? They're like, Nate ain't mine.
Yeah. Now, I mean, as far as my knowledge can take me, I am certain, without question, the son to my father. You know what I mean? Like, without question. But
That's some serious abandonment, bro. The whole family just said,
the entire
fuck you.
Family just said.
You mean not one brother or something said, nah, we can't leave little Nate. Nobody gonna call, nothing?
Nah, nothing, man. So.
You did something.
No,
I just went. Fruit Loops you gave.
Got out.
Yeah, I just.
That's what it is.
But look, imagine this, right? For years on it.
I would hate you if I'm your brother. Think about this. You got to walk through the fucking Gangster Disciples or the whatever. What is the other one?
Yeah, the Black Disciples.
The Black Disciples, whatever. You got to walk through all these disciples every single day. You're going to get fucking guns put up to your chest every other day. People getting killed all this neighborhood, and you're hanging around with horses in some kid named Travis's house. Are you fucking kidding me?
By the way, this whole thing sounds like
furious.
Your whole life sounds like World of Warcraft. By the way, I mean disciples,
it's
horses.
Annie. He's Annie. He's fucking Annie.
Like it sounds like what the fuck?
I love it.
All right, let's pay some bills, Charlamagne.
Let's do it.
It's bills time. Did you think fantasy football season was over? Good talk. Don't wait till next year. Play more fantasy football for real. Cash, baby. this season over at FanDuel.com. That sentence doesn't make sense.
Say it again then.
Cash this season isn't over at FanDuel.com. Chris Prince from Detroit is an avid fantasy football player who has won over $700,000 playing fantasy sports at FanDuel.com. Join him and the hundreds of thousands of others who are users on FanDuel and have already won money.
Now, I will say Chris Prince won $700,000. He can afford to buy tickets to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
He can take him and a couple of his
Chris.
friends to the goddamn Super Bowl, okay? My Dallas Cowboys, we have been eliminated, you know what I'm saying? But my fantasy team did not do as well as my Dallas Cowboys this year. And though I do love FanDuel, I am happy my Dallas Cowboys did better than my fantasy team this year.
While you were losing a little bit?
Yes, I was.
I won.
How much you win?
$10.
Hey, man.
I originally lost $3, then I won $10, so I'm up $7. I feel pretty good about myself.
Hey, man, salute to FanDuel.com. They're the leader in 1 week fantasy football leagues. The money is real. Go ask Chris Prince if the money ain't real.
700 G's.
All
He's
right.
the only person in Detroit that has that kind of money. We made that joke last week. We'll make it again.
Listen, no season-long commitment, no upfront fees. Play each week or whenever you want. Set a new lineup each week and win every week if you're good enough. And the fun doesn't stop when the NFL season ends.
That's
Because guess
true.
what FanDuel got, baby?
What it got?
The NBA, dog.
Yeah.
NBA. All right, leagues are bigger than ever. This is it. The final week of fantasy football season on FanDuel. So take your last shot this weekend.
You know what?
And walk away with your piece of $10 million.
I think that we need to check to see if Chris Prince is still alive because we basically put a number on his head by saying he's from Detroit and he has $700,000.
Yeah, he should have lied to FanDuel until he ain't win nothing.
Yeah, that's what I would have
Maybe
said. I
tell
lost.
FanDuel, like, look, man, this shit is like the lottery. If I win, I can just I choose whether or not I want to disclose
Anonymous.
that I won this money or not, okay?
Listen, your piece of that $10 million they are paying out this weekend is available at FanDuel.com. All right? Get your ass on there. You click that microphone in the upper corner and make it happen.
That's right. Use our code BRILLIANT. Sign up now. And they got a new user special. FanDuel is giving you a bonus of up to $200 on your first deposit for every dollar you deposit. FanDuel will match it up to $200, okay? Offer is only good for the first 50 people that use the code BRILLIANT, all right? Don't forget to use our code BRILLIANT.
Don't miss out on all the fantasy football you can handle. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com.
Sign up today, and I feel like I should spell out BRILLIANT. But if I have to spell out brilliant, then you're probably not brilliant, so you don't deserve to use our code anyway.
Exactly.
Have a nice day.
So let me get this in there, man. So all those years, this is where my wife comes into the picture, man.
Right.
That's why she's such a wonderful woman. All these years going by, right? At the time,
She gave you a place to stay.
Yeah,
That's why you love
let's tell you what. I'm going to school. No, I was done with school. I'm teaching. I was a teacher. I was working with at-risk court-involved youth, right? And trying to help them to avoid further criminal justice involvement, right? And I did that for 10 years. I love my work. I love what I did, right? But at the same time, man, I'm still constantly struggling with the loss of my family. You never get over something like that.
How? That's traumatizing.
Yeah, you never get over that, right? So, I mean, the volume of the pain goes down, but the sound stays on. You know, it's a perpetual reverberating existence in your internal life. So, I meet Donna. You know, we liked each other right away, you know, and one night, you know, because I was heavy on drinking and stuff during this time of my life, and, you know, my wife says, I should put my hand through a glass. I was so drunk that night. Put my hand through this glass door and cut my hand, you know, right here, blood, whatever. My wife said, look, you need to go to therapy. If you don't get into therapy, we can't be together anymore. That's it. And I didn't want to lose her. And I didn't want to continue to sabotage more relationships because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
And I went to therapy. I was in therapy for 4 years straight. And all this time, man, this was an amazing transformation for me. I would think that I was a victim. I was abandoned by my family, right? But let's look over my family. My parents were both illiterate. They could not read or write. All of my brothers were drug addicts or alcoholics, high school dropouts, right? So essentially, if I would have come back home to Chicago for Thanksgiving break and found my brothers with their arms stretched wide open for me, awaiting my embrace, and I awaiting theirs, I might have walked into my inevitable destruction.
Association would have brought on a similar issue.
There you have it, right? But yet, I'm 15. I can't see past this, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm thinking, I'm abandoned, I'm a victim, boom, boom, boom. Then it dawned on me, you know what? I actually was not abandoned at all. I was actually delivered from what could have been my destruction.
Delivered.
I am delivered.
Listen, no, that's real, man.
You know what I mean? Well, when you change your perspective in that way, it changes the outlook on your life.
Yeah,
Suddenly, I start to feel more empowered.
But when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yeah. And like that's it. And I think thinking that way, that happened 2 years later. My art career just took off.
That's dope, man.
It was crazy. Just took off. You know, now I'm able to support my wife. My wife was able to leave her job
That's amazing.
because I replaced both salaries.
Do you ever want to find your family just for closure, maybe just to see what happened?
I've learned to become and to be comfortable with their absence. I can care less about finding them. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 brothers and a pops, dog. Something ain't right.
Something's going on.
That's what happened. And a lot of my artwork is about that. You know what I mean? It's about the construction of identity and how, you know, many different experiences can work together to form the kind of human existence that you have, which I think is something that stretches beyond race. It's about being a human being, you know?
So is that why you think all these niggas is in the art now? going down to Art Basel and all that shit.
Hey man, listen, I think in being involved in the art world and being an art collector is pretty big business. You know what I mean? I think it's
these guys ain't collecting no art, man. You know, like I saw Gunplay. Shout out to Gunplay, that's my guy. But I saw Gunplay walking around an art gallery.
Who is? I don't even know who Gunplay is.
Well, his name's Gunplay.
A name like Gunplay? That doesn't sound.
He's like Taxstone with long dreadlocks.
Yeah, Taxstone, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Taxstone, yeah. He was a black stone. Taxstone.
Yeah.
That's where that stone comes from.
Yeah.
The moment I heard that, I knew right away the relationship between his name and his what may have been his real life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like Jay-Z with songs like Picasso, Baby, like they're making art almost trendy to a new generation. But I'm really into art.
You know, funny enough, Jean-Michel Basquiat was really good friends with Run DMC. So there was always like this kind of intersection between contemporary art and hip-hop culture.
How did he die, Basquiat?
Drug overdose, heroin.
That age.
In fact, that's right. He was actually getting ready to go to a Run DMC concert. His friends came to pick him up, and the girlfriend was downstairs. Oh, he's upstairs. He went upstairs, in his room, he's lying dead.
So Run DMC killed Basquiat. No, seriously. But you got to think about it. It's like you put on your best outfit, you probably got dressed.
Run DMC's music was so boring, he needed to be on heroin to attend that concert.
He wanted to get
That's
loaded.
what it was.
He wanted to get loaded so he could be the hypest motherfucker in that crowd with my
on
Adidas
heroin?
came on.
How many motherfuckers you know that go on heroin and
Well,
get
speaking of rappers in the art game, like somebody like Swiss Beats, for example.
Switch is in it.
He is, you know, he's a formidable art collector. You know what I mean? Like he's really involved in the art world. He loves art. He's an artist himself. You know, and he's serious. He understands the value of this thing and how important it is for one to have an expression, to express themselves through a medium like comedy. Like a lot of my influence for my art making also comes from hip hop producers. Right?
Yeah.
Like, think about the way Kanye West constructs beats.
Timberland, man.
Right. The way they put beats together.
RZA.
That's like that's an art.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like to put the beats together in that way and to have that kind of sort of dichotomy or duality between contemporary beat structures and Motown tonal values, you know, music, you find the Temptations or Roberta Flack, and then he kind of creates this juxtaposition between that and the kind of fast-moving rhythmic beats that you would hear in any given song, but give it its own language, its own voice. It's like really interesting stuff, you know.
If their ass shakes, I listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Well, Nathan Mary Quinn, man, this has been a very
Yo, thank you so much for coming, man. Yeah.
very
I really love
inspirational. Inspirational.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Inspiring.
Yeah. Informative.
Yeah.
Conversation.
And I'm a huge fan of the Brilliant
I love
Idiots.
that.
If you're a real fan, you paint a painting already. You paint a goddamn painting.
You know what? I started to do an ink drawing of you, of like Charlamagne and you, Andrew. You know,
Yeah,
and to bring it.
I'm honored,
but
man.
I was worried and concerned that you all may not like it. It would be a splitting image of you.
Now you're an artist, man. You can't be worried about that.
Yeah, see it, man. I'm
it was
so
a splitting
gassed
image
right
of
now,
you.
dude.
Yeah, and I still would love it if the both of you could come to my studio.
Oh, that's
there.
happening.
Give them the
That's
address
happening.
to the studio so
Yeah.
people can come visit it when they're in New York.
Well, it's a studio, not a gallery.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
studio. So
dudes coming
my
to his
studio is
house.
where I live.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I can't just put
Never
my
mind.
address
Yeah,
on
yeah.
flash like that.
But give us your information, like where people
Yeah,
can
but-
find you. and all that
absolutely.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
So that is it. Man, I'm a huge
And you
fan.
got a Twitter and anything?
I do have. It's Nathaniel Mary Quinn.
Facebook?
Mary, right? It's Mary.
Mary,
M-A-R-Y.
yeah. Nathaniel Mary Quinn.
And
Facebook?
Nathaniel Mary Quinn. It's the same.
Website?
Nathaniel Mary Quinn.
Listen, you family that abandoned this young, talented man, you have all his information now.
You know his name.
There's no reason for you not to reach out. Okay?
Hey, don't reach out when his painting's in Jay-Z's house. That's some fucked up
That's
shit.
some fucked up shit, dog.
Hey, been a long time. We should go check out
Yeah,
that
right.
painting of yours, right? Over at Jay's?
Right.
Listen, man, as always, if you listen to this podcast and you think we're smart, we're intelligent, you learn something, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and you think we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, and you think we're all just a bunch of stupid motherfuckers, a bunch of idiots, you're right too. Because this is the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.